What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Long time no speak to. It feels like forever, man. How you guys doing out there? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Give yourselves a round of applause. Got my man Cleavon. He's not hooded up today. Looks like he got the window and the fresh air flowing through the house. How man? How's it? How's the weather up there in the Northwest?
Yeah, it's a cool 77. A nice easterly breeze. 5 to 10 miles an hour, man. It's wonderful.
Oh my goodness, man! What I would do for some 77 degrees about right now, man. I think it's gonna be 77, probably at 2 in the morning. It's gonna be 77. Um, what's good? What's good, Barry?
Hey,
We got something for you, Barry. At the end of the show, man, you gotta tune in. We got special categories that we're gonna break down um and decide that we're gonna have to categorize you guys a little bit, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, big dog. Fans, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. But let's talk about it, Cleveland. You guys had Seafair weekend with the Blue Angels flying around. I actually was in Chicago this past week and I saw they were promoting the Blue Angels. That has been in my sheesh. I left, what has it been? 90, I left in 91. So in my 30 years away, 25 years away from home. That's the only other time I've seen the Blue Angels promoted was in Chicago. They come up to Chicago at the end of the year. But how was the Blue Angels, man? Flying around, rumbling and shaking up the windows, and you hear them from miles away. You don't know what it is until you know when you know. I mean, if you haven't heard them, you hear the engines roaring. How was the Blue Angels, Cleveland?
they were awesome as always, Cam. I remember the one season they decided that it was too expensive and not cost effective to have the Blue Angels, and they've had them ever since. I think that was like 10 or 12 years ago. Like, yeah, you got to bring the Angels, man. It's awesome.
They tried to run Seafair without the Angels.
They did. They had one.
They had what?
This
So
one.
what was it? Well,
This one.
between the boat races, what were before the championship boat races? What did you guys do?
Nothing.
Twirl around in the river, in the water for a little 20 minutes, or more like a.
Everybody was like, "Hey, no Blue Angels. This sucks. Not coming back next year." And they were like, "Oh no, the Angels gonna be here." Like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. They had to refix that one. I mean, they had to make it.
That
But have you got a chance to see the documentary on the Blue Angels?
No, but I was telling a friend earlier today my Blue Angels experience, like at the highest level, and so I had a chance to watch the Blue Angels trials, right? And I was on the north side of Interstate 90, and the boat races are on the south end of Interstate 90. But I had an opportunity to watch them kind of do their thing, and they came. What I tell my friend is that they came so low that I was able to read the letters and numbers on the wing as they came down. I was like, "Oh wow!" And it was like so loud and like just like woo, like this energy. It was amazing.
The Angels ain't no joke, man. The Angels ain't no joke. For a long time, I thought it was just a Seattle thing, but they have actually 50, 56, I think, tours around the country. But it's just odd. I don't hear anybody promote it. I don't hear anybody talk about it. So check out if you guys got a chance from promote the documentary. I have nothing to do with it. But check out the documentary on the Blue Angels. It's out right now. You can go, find it. I can find it on my Fire Stick. I don't know, whatever whatever streaming service you decide to use. I'm sure you can find it. It might be a Netflix thing, but it's pretty dope. It's well worth the watch. But the Blue Angels in Seattle, that Seafair weekend in Seattle, I mean, it used to be the Torchlight was on Friday. Well, it was a Torchlight that had the boats parading down through downtown. It had all the you saw the boats. You saw the hydroplanes throughout the week because they were training and testing. But for Friday night, they would bring them all through the parade them through downtown Seattle. Um, and then Saturday they had the training. So if you that weekend you were here in the hydroplane races. I mean, there's a lot of traffic around Lake Washington, but you were hearing the boats testing and training throughout that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, obviously
Oh,
Saturday and then Sunday, and then sometime on Thursday, sometime you'll know when they here, but sometimes on Thursday,
trials, yeah.
those Blue Angels was coming to swooping through the trees, and you just all of a sudden you hear the house shake and rumble, and you hear them coming. It's like you can hear them from miles away, slicing through the air. It was pretty dope, and then you could see them do their aerial acrobatics. Man, the Blue Angels was phenomenal. That was growing up the unequivocally the best weekend in Seattle, Washington. Unequivocally. I mean, you could say there was a couple other ceremonies and festivals that might have competed or attempted to compete, but for me, it was unequivocal. The very best weekend in Seattle was Seafair weekend, but now they break it up. They got Seafair was in March. The Torchlight Parade was in May, maybe. Then they have some other beer festival on Friday night. I mean, well, come on, Seattle. It's a weekend. If I want to come to town, I want to come and see the Torchlight Parade on Friday night and then go to the boat races on Sunday. What are you guys doing? What are they doing?
Now, 100% agree. That's the way that you should do it. That should be the protocol. But things change, times change.
Yeah,
2024,
they
unfortunately.
done bought Cleveland. They done bought Cleveland into it, man. They
I,
must
I
have
didn't say that. I said
they
what I
must have got
said.
some tickets to some beer festivals or something.
I think it should still be on the schedule that you just alluded to, but it's just not. So I can't fight the whole state, right?
I don't know about that, man. You should put a petition because I'm fighting the whole state to get the Mariners out of the T-Mobile Arena or T-Mobile Stadium. But the Mariners are holding me off this season. We're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them later on. We're gonna talk about the Major League. We've been gone. It feels like a month, but it's just been a week. So we missed the MLB trading deadline. We missed some boxing that we're gonna have to catch Cleveland up on Terrence Crawford because I know he didn't watch Terrence Crawford. And I'll tell you about my uh, trip in Chicago. How I riled some people up when I said Chicago wasn't a sports town. I said Chicago wasn't a sports town.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't make people
Really
so happy with
out
me.
loud to some Chicagoans. That's weird.
A few Chicagoans. I was pretty frustrated, and I'll get to that story here in a little bit. But we're going to talk about the NBA, some NBA off-season stories. And then it's that time again, fans. It's the NFL time is again. Again, we're going to get to this NFL discussion and how can you call yourself a sports town if you're not interested in the team, the number one player, and get the number one draft pick, whether he plays in the preseason game or not. I'm trying to have a discussion with some Bears fans, and it doesn't matter. It's not important. Whatever. Let's see what he does week one. What are you talking about? How is that a discussion for NFL football fans? And you guys don't want to discuss this. Yeah, I question the sports fandom of Chicagoans. I surely do. So we're gonna have that conversation today as well. Fans, we got some things coming. Probably by the end of the month, we're gonna have special offerings for you guys who continuously join the show, like Mr. Daniel Berry Sports, like MJ Lover 23. We're gonna talk. We got something for Boots. Where you at, Boots? We're gonna have some fans like Boots who are always contributing to the show. We're gonna have to categorize you guys and any fans who plan to be a part of the show moving forward. Also, fans, it's the football season coming on. We got the fantasy football draft. And Cleveland didn't want to talk about it. He's been hesitant to discuss fantasy football. Cleveland gets to shake in and he gets to sweating, and Next week he's gonna have this hoodie on. He's not gonna want to talk about it.
I had
But
talked
it's
about
coming.
it at length.
Whether you're ready for it or not, it's fantasy football season is here, so we're gonna have to get the draft schedule, fans. We're gonna have to have our picks, and I mean Cleveland's gonna come up with some way to kind of mess up the spreadsheet, so we can't report on our picks this week, each week, like we've been doing for the last 10 years. Cleveland's gonna find a way to mess this up this season, but we're gonna have this talked about, and maybe you guys can win some money. Maybe we can help you guys win some money. Maybe you guys stick around and we're gonna help you win some money. But fans, like we do each and every week, we start our show with the numbers game. So with it being week 303, Cleveland, of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Today's August 7th. We want to welcome you guys to the Voice of the Fans podcast. And with our numbers game, Cleveland, when you think of the number 7, who come to your mind first? Or who wore that jersey number the best?
Cam, there are so many number 7s. Who comes to mind first is the polarizing Mike Vick. For so many reasons, talent, dogfighting, etc.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at you. That was a low blow. That was a low blow.
You were the best. I'm going to have to say John Elway.
I mean, what do you have? 5 Super Bowl appearances? Was it only 5?
5.
He won 2 and lost 3 before he even had a team. So yeah. Can I, fans? You guys may have heard this before, and this is odd. Because Cleveland, you bring up Mike Vick. I lived in Hampton, Virginia for a bunch of years. So this what's odd about this is the first time I think this has happened. When we talk about the number 3, Cleveland, go ahead. Who when you think of the number 3, who call your mind first, or who are their jersey?
Cam, who comes to mind first is probably Allen Iverson, just because I've been hearing so much about him getting close to his quote unquote settlement. And then who wears it the best is Babe Ruth.
For a few different reasons, Dana Barros was the first person to come to my mind first, along with Dale Ellis.
Okay, I'm not going to get into my Dana Barros story. Please, stay away from that one. Wow.
But Allen Iverson obviously is a big factor, though. And then, oddly enough, what I feel is odd is both these guys are from the Tidewater area. Mike Vick.
Yeah, and fans, just to get back to that Dana Barros thing, man, that was kind of picking out a scab. Cam, I don't think Cam knew that. But
you want to tell them?
I might be incarcerated if the Dana Barros altercation went differently. So.
Ooh, well, let the fans know. Give us some inside scoop on your relationship with Dana Barros.
I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just going to say, hey, 5'9" from Boston College. Hey, man, coming to 206. Hey, man,
Dana Barros made a video, and I think that was the last season he played in the NBA after that video came out. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that music video he had. And he thought he was Allen Iverson, but that's a song for a different day. But Allen Iverson and Mike Vick, being from both the 757, the Tidewater area, I actually saw Mike Vick play in high school, and he was in this particular game I went to. There was one kid who was the talk of the town, and that was Ronald Curry. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ronald Curry.
I am. He was and correct me if I'm wrong, the basketball and football player of the year, USA Today.
As a junior and senior. Junior in high school and senior in high school. So I had to go see what the hype was all about. I wanted to know what was going on. How is this kid winning in both sports? So surprisingly. So the kid, In 12 games, he had 76 touchdowns. In 12 games. Sure, if you understand what that equates to. But in 12 games, he had 76 touchdowns.
That's like 6.5 touchdowns a game.
Killing. So I went to go see them. I went to go see him primarily. And since he was killing everybody, like I was, okay, what is a team that, and I'm asking people because I didn't know, I was relatively new to the area. What is a team that at least is going to compete with these guys? Is there a team that's going to compete? And what would that team be? Okay, they said, oh, well, there's this other young cat that goes to a different high school. The team isn't so good, but he's supposed to be nice. You might want to go check this game out. So I go to the game, and it's Mike Vick versus, it was Warwick versus Hampton. Warwick High School versus Hampton. I worked at the stadium. I did some work for the stadium. And so I, snuck my way up in, made my way to the top rafter, to the top row. And Mike Vick, remind me, for those of you guys who enjoy college football, I know you enjoy college football, Cleveland. Mike Vick reminded me, looked like a spitting image of Charlie Ward at Florida State. Nice, cool, calm, composed in the pocket. Didn't run a lot. That was the thing that surprised me. He didn't run a lot. He shifted left, right. He scrambled to get open away from the rush to find an open receiver. One play that sticks in my mind is, again, his team wasn't very good, but Mike Vick, just like Charlie Ward did, had play with the 4 wide receiver offense, took the shotgun snap, and he didn't have no time because, again, his team wasn't very good, but he scrambled to the left. He was left-handed, by the way. He scrambled to the left, let his receiver get down the field. He had to make a couple moves to get open. Threw it about 75 yards down the field to a wide open receiver, and the receiver drops the ball. It was like, this kid he couldn't walk it down. Your boy Shannon Sharp gonna walk it to him once. He couldn't do a better job walking the ball to him. He had to maneuver his way. But the thing about watching him in high school is Charlie Ward was just, if you remember Charlie Ward, he wasn't blazing fast. He wasn't big. He wasn't blazing fast. He had a good arm, nice accuracy, and just a consistent quarterback. He looked exactly like Charlie Ward did at Florida State. But he was making some room, making some space, finding his receivers open, and the receivers were just flat out dropping the ball. It was amazing. Hampton ended up beating them like 48-28, something ridiculous like that. But you saw on the field that this kid Mike Vick had talent. Put some talent around him. He's going to be nice. And Ronald Curry was very much. He was the best player on the field, play quarterback. He'd take the snap and throw it to roll out, and then look like he's going to run the ball, and then all of a sudden flick it 40 yards to his receiver who's running wide open because all the defenses came down on him. So he throw it to his wide receiver running down the field, and he's scampering for the touchdown. Or Curry would if they didn't rush him, now they would decide to drop back on him, and then he'd roll out and then just kind of weave his way right through the defense like they weren't even there. It was pretty incredible. Like they couldn't touch him. He wasn't breaking tackles. He just weaving, looked like a child playing with a son. Like Ronald Curry was pretty impressive. But they were both from Mike Vick, obviously, Ronald Curry, both from the Tidewater area. Allen Iverson was also from the Tidewater area. And real quickly, I moved to Virginia in 93 after the bowling alley incident. So the bowling alley incident happened in April, let's say. I moved there in September. I moved to Hampton, Virginia. Hampton, Virginia is real Renton-ish, real Renton, small town-ish, if you will. And kind of like the Renton Landing, there's only it's a walk of the landing is very walkable, right? So that's downtown Hampton. Well, just imagine the Renton Landing, but there's only a few ways in there. Like you can only enter a couple different ways from the landing, right? It's not all you can't pull off the 5 freeway right into Renton. You have to hit the side street, right? So they having this the Hampton Bay Days they call them, but they have it blocked off. So it's a beer garden where only you have to buy yourself a ticket, and they have only 2 entrances. It's all blocked off. You can walk up to all these entrances, but to all sides of it, but they only have 2 entrances where you can pay to get into this little beer garden because it's beer, it's adults, and all this and that. So I said I was new to town. I've been there a week. I'm gonna go to a Hampton Bay Day, see what's going on down there in downtown Hampton. At the entrances, at the entrances, they have it's a lot of us there, and they got t-shirts holding up Free Allen Iverson, black t-shirts with the letter Free Allen Iverson. I'm like, who the heck is Allen Iverson? I'm thinking Allen Iverson is a mayor, the politician, the police sergeant who then got wrapped up in some controversy. But on both sides of the entrance, a lot of us like they were not allowing you to go in the entrance, but they were guarding the entrance, if you will, because they're boycotting. They're boycotting the Hampton Bay Days because this is where Allen Iverson got arrested for the bowling alley incident. I still have no idea who this is, though. I have no idea who this is, and I'm wondering who the heck Allen Iverson is. So later on that night, on the news, turn and click on the local news, and then they talk about who Free Allen Iverson. Oh yeah, the city really came out to support the high school kid who recently got locked up. I'm like, high school kid, like they were out in droves. They were the way the Tidewater area was riding for Allen Iverson. That's how you want your family to ride with you. They was riding for him like that, real big. It was real. I was blown away that there was a high school kid that riding for him, but it was.
And it's funny what as you were telling that story, I remember the story of Coach Beamer talking about the difference between recruiting Michael Vick to come to Virginia Tech and play quarterback and recruiting Marcus Vick to come to Virginia Tech and play quarterback. So when they go to recruit Mike, it's like, they're, it's that, Shannon Sterling Sharp stuff. It's like, wow, these floors, you're on dirt floors and the bathroom is outside. And okay, we're having squirrel and chipmunk casserole. That's cool. Okay. Son, when he comes to recruit Mike, right? Son, I'm going to pull you out of all of this. You're going to be a millionaire. You're going to be able to take care of your whole family. And, everything is going to be great at Virginia Tech. Come here. Mike goes to Virginia Tech, gets to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Amazing. I did not see in Virginia Tech. You saw the talent there. You still saw his pocket presence. But what I did not see from in my high school was his running ability, his cat-like quickness, and his speed. That I did not see in high school.
So your story is funny because apparently the 4.29 was not on display, and then
it was not. Well, yeah. He didn't run. Did you see Charlie Ward run? Charlie Ward ran for the first down. If it was fourth, it was 3rd and 16. Yeah. He gets 17 and slide.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Marcus is like somewhere between 4 and 6 years younger than Mike. So this time when Coach Beamer comes to recruit the quarterback from Newport News, well,
Yeah, it's a little different.
He's going to a house like 3 times the size of his own house.
Yeah.
And you have to like, oh, that speech I was just gonna give you, like, oh, none of that is gonna work.
Yeah.
I
He had
am not
he had to
improving your life. Like, oh wow, all of this like salesmanship. You literally had to turn to Mike and be like, hey man, can you give me a solid man?
yeah. It
All of
Mike
that, I'm
actually
gonna enrich your life. And
oh yeah. It's
so
a different he
imagine if a coach has to talk to you like a regular human being, not like I am going to pull you out of the deepest poverty that you've ever seen in your whole life, and 100 of your family members will all be good. Like, no, that was
yeah.
like 5 years ago.
Well, again, you already said it. Mike was the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And Mike wasn't he wasn't stingy with his
But he was trying to come with like that same thing, but he didn't understand like how different times change.
yeah. Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beamer was kind of stuck. He was kind of stuck in the time. He was kind of stuck in the
Man, I'm
time.
gonna make you a millionaire, son. I'm gonna make you. No.
But Mike pushed him there because he was thinking that Beamer was gonna rub off on him. But by that time, when your brother
I
has
mean, Marcus was like
hundreds of
already like
millions,
super flamboyant and like already
yeah,
like not as talented. So like, but
yeah.
it was
But
just so
no, but when his brother has $100 million in the bank and he's
but
just
it's like
generous,
it just what resonated with me is that that's how all these coaches come. Like they're going to these places where these people are so impoverished and so like, please save us, please help me, please throw me a rope. And when you don't have to come like that,
yeah,
like you're not throwing me a rope, bro.
yeah. And that was
We're already rich.
Marcus's problem. That was Marcus's problem. Is he
For
didn't need
sure.
he
He
didn't need
didn't
the
have
coaching.
like the motivation or
Yeah,
determination because they're already there.
yeah. He was talking about already there, man. Is they had the Hall of Fame game this weekend. And again, as I was literally in Chicago this past weekend, um, Thursday night, I was trying to, I was couldn't watch the game. I was busy. I couldn't watch the game. Was not an option. I caught maybe a minute or two of the game, and I just saw on Hard Knocks that the game was actually suspended and they didn't finish the game because of weather. But um, I did ask some fans Thursday when I flew into town Wednesday. So it was Wednesday night. I was asking the fans, local people in Chicago, downtown Chicago, are you interested? Do you want to see? Because we had the argument, Cleavon, is should Caleb Williams be playing? Should he play any downs in the preseason game? Cleavon's like, no, save it. I'm like, no, let the guy got to get some reps, man. You got to see the guy on the field. Oh, I don't, fans. A couple people I talked to. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Um, I don't. Really, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I'm like, what? Come on, this is a number one draft pick for your Chicago Bears. How do you guys not have an opinion if the guy should play or not? They were very indifferent, and I'm just like, okay, all right, guys. Like, come on. I thought we were in a sports crazed town here. I'm more passionate about this dude, and I can care less about the Bears than you guys are. It was just weird to me how nobody had an opinion on the Chicago Bears and if the guy should play or the guy should play a preseason game. Very indifferent. It was very weird. Um, Nonetheless, they had your Patrick Willis, your guy Julius Peppers, Andre Johnson, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, all inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. I didn't hear one Hall of Fame speech. I didn't hear one moment of the Hall of Fame speech. I mean, the Hall of Fame, the way they do I don't want to say they should move it, but this Hall of Fame game has lost its luster, especially the way they treat the Hall of Fame, the preseason games now. The Hall of Fame game or the Hall of Fame weekend has lost its luster. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think the Hall of Fame weekend has lost its luster. I think part of the problem with the Hall of Fame ceremony is that I feel like the committee feels obligated to have a bunch of people every year that, in my opinion, may or may not be Hall of Famers. Like sometimes, like when you go to Cooperstown, it might just be one dude.
Mhm.
And be like, okay, Ken Griffey Jr. that's it for the year. But I feel like the NFL feels compelled to like make
Have it.
this a thing, so they have to just like pull people that
Well, Andre Johnson, man, as much
I don't
as
know. I don't know how you feel about it, but it feels like it gets more fringe every year. Like really,
yeah, I'm
like,
looking at this list, and Patrick Willis.
and
Okay,
we go
Patrick
back to
Willis had a
when
solid career.
Dion was saying, what did Dion say? It's like we can't all be wearing the same.
He said we need two floors.
Yeah, like no, I'm like a Hall of Famer. You're like you made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't think Andre Johnson is a Hall of Famer. I mean, he was solid. I mean, he was great in college. I mean, I don't. Did Houston? Did he win a playoff game? I mean,
No,
I'm not sure
Schaub
that
and those guys lost all the time.
yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. Dwight Freeney. Okay, he was a factor. On a Super Bowl
Dwight
winning team.
Andre Johnson is more of a Hall of Famer than Dwight Freeney, without question.
I don't know about that. Dwight Freeney was their star defensive end on the Super Bowl championship team. Andre Johnson didn't make a play. Did they win a playoff game? I mean, I might have to go do some homework and see. I don't think they won.
I don't believe the Houston Texans won a playoff game until C.J. Stroud last year won the playoff game.
Devin Hester is for all of those kick return.
Now, is Devin Hester making the Hall of Fame on the fact that he took the opening kickoff in the Super Bowl for a touchdown?
That don't matter, man. That don't matter. That don't even count the stat book. Devin Hester not a Hall of Fame. But some people say he's the greatest kick returner of all time.
And so what? If you're the greatest kick returner of all time, that puts you in the Hall of Fame.
He's not.
I'm on Dion's side of the ledger, man. Like this is weird.
Julius Peppers, they did go to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it. Okay, Patrick Willis, did they make the Super Bowl? No, but they were very solid. I mean,
Julius is fringe. I think Patrick Willis deserved it.
Yeah, Patrick Willis. That's what I'm saying. They were a perennial playoff team. Like they were the tough. You worried about going into San Fran.
And he was one of the top two middle linebackers every season he played.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was yeah. I don't know. This was a soft class in my opinion. This is a very soft class. Somebody who's not soft. A bad joke almost came out of my mouth, man. Tyreek Hill on the schedule to get 3 years, $90 million extension.
Man, I'm so glad that joke didn't come out of Cameron Buford's mouth.
Oh my goodness gracious. He's slotted to get a 3-year, $90 million. What do you think? Fair deal? Fair deal for Tyreek Hill, fair deal for the Dolphins, 3-year, $90 million?
Absolutely a fair deal for who the players voted as the number one player in the league. Yeah, without question.
Are you surprised by that? I'm kind of surprised by he was voted the number one player in the top 100. Now, I mean, the top 100 is a peer. It's a peer voted list, so that makes it interesting. I mean, that gives it credibility.
Gives it more validity, right? Like you're saying, more credibility. I mean, that's who they think.
When the NBA,
journalists, it's who the players.
When the NBA players voted the All Stars, that didn't give that more validity, did it? It was. Did it really? You think?
Because you're playing against those other players, so your peers are voting for this. It's not.
It makes it a peer award, which obviously has a certain amount of recognition and credibility there. I'll give you that. does it make it more valid than sports writers who make the opinion? Because come on, the best
Well,
player,
you're
the
already
best player in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes. Period. End of story.
but
There's
Cam,
not. There's not.
you already know the problem that I have with this, right? A wide receiver being the best player in the league, right?
Well, I don't. I don't. But I can tell you with unequivocally,
So
the
what
best
my
player.
problem is with it is that receivers don't throw the ball to themselves.
Okay, I mean, fair enough, and I mean that's why I'm surprised. I'm surprised Tyreek Hill was ranked number 1 by the media, by his peers. That is surprising to me. Because again, Patrick Mahomes is unequivocally the best player in the NFL. Period. End of question. It's
But
not
he
even.
wasn't even number 2. Who was number 2?
Lamar Jackson was number 2,
Ah.
and he's not the second best player in all of the NFL. Come on.
So is this just success fatigue that we're feeling with Patrick Mahomes? Like he won so much, and you have to do extraordinary things to even get on our radar at this point.
On the kid is about to start the season.
But Lamar had a better year last year, without question.
Did he?
Yeah, he sure did.
And what happened when they played each other?
Okay, well that's a different story.
I mean, what? How's that a different story? Usually Lamar had a better year. What happened when they played each other?
It's not about who had the better season. Lamar had a better season. He's the league MVP. Patrick Mahomes did not have a great season last year. He did. I mean,
sure, fair enough. That's very fair. He was not
dominant
last year. Last year
dominant to the playoffs.
Last year was his worst year, and they end up his worst year in the league, and they end up winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, once the playoffs started, it's a different story. I get that.
So, I mean, is it fatigue? I mean, he's number 4 behind your guy.
He's 3, right? He's 3 behind
Tyreek
and Lamar, and then him, right?
No, Tyreek, Lamar, your guy, the kick returner, Patrick McCaffrey. I mean,
Christian
Jackson McCaffrey, and then it's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, well, he'll use that as motivation, bullet board material. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Mahomes is better than all 3 of those guys. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Is it? It has to. It might be fatigue, but who had the better year last year? Is that how we're ranking this? Coming off last season,
Lamar Jackson had a better year than Patrick Mahomes last year, regular season, without question.
What happened when they played each other?
Okay, see.
So stop that. So stop saying he had a better year when they played each other. What happened?
So you're not listening to me.
I heard what you said.
During regular season. Yeah.
Did they play each other? Did they play each other in the playoffs?
They did. Championship game.
Okay, so what happened when they played each other?
Is that part of the regular season? Like what I said?
That's part of the season. You can break it down and slice it up however you like.
So no, it's not part of the regular season. Okay.
Break it down however you like. However you choose to break it down. Those 2 played each other last season. Okay? One guy went on to the Super Bowl. One guy went home to watch TV. It was knocking on my door, talking about, do I have in my chicken wings ready? Okay? There was a difference there. Okay?
Wow. Fans, did you hear that? He just said Lamar Jackson was an Uber driver after that game. That's cold-blooded. Not even right. The MVP of the league said, hey, homie, why don't you bring me my wings? You late. You 7 minutes late. You get no tip.
Hey, next time.
You said that about Lamar Jackson.
Next time,
Patrick Mahomes with far less statistical.
Oh, you want to go? You want to go stats on me? You want to go stats on me now? You want to
really.
go stat heavy? You want to throw stats out?
I mean,
how about?
I wasn't until you reduced Lamar Jackson, the league MVP, to an Uber driver. That's kind of cold-blooded.
Hey, win a game, win a playoff game that everybody's counting on you to win. When you're at home, you have the Super Bowl.
I think Uber driver is a little low on the I'm
Well,
saying.
when you have the Super Bowl champions in your house with a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and you break up you break out the right side, and then you looking at your cornerback, looking at the cornerback like her, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, and goes down. I mean, now I have to question your heart and stamina. I mean, just when we're talking about it. Um, but Miles Garrett comes after Mahomes. Uh, Chris Jones, Trent Williams. They have Trent Williams in the top 10. I mean, I know Brock
I
Purdy's
don't
in
know. I
there.
don't know if he's. I don't. It's a funny thing. I've seen two offensive tackles that I understand why they are who they are. I don't get that from Trent Williams. I don't have the time to tell you the story about when I saw Jonathan Ogden in person in Las Vegas. It's a long story, and it's quite comical.
You try to tell me that
I
Brock
don't have
Purdy is not who he is
I don't have the time to tell you
unless Trent
about.
Williams is there.
You cut me off. I don't have the time to tell you, fans, about Walter Jones pushing Escalades around in his driveway and how ridiculous that sounds, but that's really how he got ready for the football season every year. I don't feel like Trent Williams is on that list. I don't even think he's Eric Williams good. I don't know if fans. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Eric Williams.
Cleveland, you are the one who told me, or you are the one who stated all season last year that Brock Purdy isn't who he is unless Trent Williams is on the court or is on the field. So now you're saying Trent Williams is less than.
No. I said Christian and Debo. I said if Debo's not playing it, come on, man. Cut it out. Cut it out.
JJ Watt,
not even remotely
Travis Kelce, Max Crosby rounds off the list. So interestingly enough, number 5, number 6, number 8, and number 10 are defensive players. I mean, I appreciate that this diversity in this list, but I don't agree that Patrick Mahomes is behind Tyreek Hill, Lamar Jackson, and Christian McCaffrey as a top player in the league. I don't find that even remotely viable. To me, that distorts the list, but whatever. I mean, Cleveland, you want to tell us about your story covering the Seahawks and how you identify the contact person for the Seahawks? Fans, it's not up for an on-air conversation, but this is absolutely hysterical. Maybe we can do this in person one day.
As our homie Bonnie Johnson said, like, hey man, here's the music right fast. I can't. It's not for public consumption. But it did happen.
Oh my goodness. Once we go behind the scenes, man, this is, oh my goodness gracious. Truly you will fall out of your chair when you hear this story here. You will fall out of your chair. Come on,
that's the most funny part about the story. Not that I had that preconceived notion, but that it worked. That was.
And he want to laugh at me. He want to laugh at me for my assertion, but then found out that he was right there. Oh my goodness, man! One day we'll tell that story. We gotta get in the door. We'll tell that story. The Giants and Lions fined $200,000 a piece for fighting during practice. Like, read the article, and it said the Giants and the Lions were fined 200K for the brawl during the practice. It didn't say the players were fined. It didn't identify the defensive tackle and the nose guard or in the center. It didn't identify the wide receiver and the cornerback were out there scuffling. It said the teams were fined. Is this the NFL finding these guys? This wasn't a televised practice. Who was the NFL? We're finding people for fighting now. What do you guys think is happening? And see, Troy Vincent, Troy. Oh, I know you was a cornerback playing in Miami, and you played in Philadelphia. Miami's a little different story, so I'm gonna write them off the book. I mean, it's hot year round. But what do you think is going on?
And hold up, Cam. I mean, the way you're trying to downplay who Troy Vincent is, make no mistake, he went to the NFC Championship 4 years in a row.
But he played cornerback
and a Super Bowl.
But he played.
They've seen some dude.
He wasn't an interior lineman. You know, he wasn't in the scrum every day in practice. He's out there with, playing tiddlywinks with the wide receivers. Okay.
Wow.
Troy.
I am not co-signing this whatsoever. Playing tiddlywinks with the receivers.
Yeah.
That's what Dempsey was.
He's. My point is, he's not. He's not. They can take plays off. They can take downs off. When you're in the interior lineman, you're going hard every moment. Every moment of practice, you're under contact every single moment.
Cameron, can I dial this back a tad bit? They find these two franchises 1/10 of 1% of their value.
You can't find.
It's a way to say, hey, man, you guys can't be fighting out here, because what if someone gets hurt and it's the Eagles person punching the Giants person in the face, and all of a sudden their orbital bone is broke and they can't play for 13 weeks, and that's your starting left tackle? You can't be doing that.
It's football. It's football.
Nope.
These guys got.
Nope. 15 penalties. I'm talking about practice, man. Practice. It's practice.
And after I bump up against
you, game.
This again.
Practice.
This is what I'm saying. This is a cornerback who's out there touching the receiver every. The receiver is not catching a route, but every five plays. So they're just kind of getting some cardio out there.
Man,
interior linemen, linebackers, running backs.
It wasn't one fight. It was 5 fights. That's why they got fined so hard. They fought like 5 times.
Because it's hot out there, and they get tired of people rubbing up against them and leaning on them, and it's a physical game.
They warned them the second time. They warned them the third time. Yeah. They warned them the 4th time.
Man,
and they're still out there fighting.
Every team is going to get penalties and fines for fighting. There should be. In fact, I want my team fighting. I want my team fighting. I don't want them to be hugging up on these players. I don't want these guys to be hugging up on their opponents.
You running wind sprints at like 10:30 at night. I understand how you feel about it, Cameron, but that's not what the league is trying to do. You can't be fighting with people.
Hey. He's coming a little too hard in practice. We need to show him what this is like over here. I want my guys fighting. I'm paying the fine for you guys, players. Get out there and stay physical with those guys. Rondo Moore, he's with the Atlanta Falcons receiver, suffered significant leg injury. Does this impact him at all?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I got some questions about the Falcons a little bit. We'll see how that impacts them. Jim Harbaugh pulling a Pete Carroll. He skipped town before the sanctions hit in Michigan and act like he had nothing to do with it now. I mean, sound familiar?
So incredibly familiar. Yeah. Which makes the transition just that much more like, oh, makes so much more sense now. You in such a hurry to sign this
I mean,
other contract.
they kind of suspended him last year, though, right? Well, didn't they suspend him for a few
Kind
games?
of. That was kind of a slap on the wrist. They still let him go through and win the national championship, 15-0. But no, he knew the next season was going to be like dreadful. Yeah, time to go.
Time to go.
He left the
Chargers,
podium on
you got
fire.
that open spot over there, Chargers. I'll come take that spot.
Urban Meyer style. I mean, that's kind of how this thing works.
I mean, I'm kind of interested in how that's going to work out with Harbaugh and you got you got Justin Herbert. You don't got no running game to speak of. I'm very interested to see how this is going to work out, how this is going to play out. Very interested to see. Your guy Mike Tomlin is apparently Russell has a calf injury. You know that his lower extremities is bothering him or something to that effect, and he's saying Justin Fields is going to get all the reps in practice and during the preseason. And he's pretty confident that Russell. Well, he listed Russell as his number one quarterback, and so this is kind of strange. Nobody followed up. Nobody really answered this question, or at least I didn't hear anybody hear his response to this question. Russell Wilson has a calf strain apparently. He says, but he's his number one quarterback on his depth chart. Fields is going to get all the work, obviously, because Russell is not there. Mike Tomlin says what happens on the field is most important, not what's happening in practice. So with Fields getting all the reps in practice, Russell not getting any reps in the games, obviously, because he hasn't got any reps in practice. You don't get no reps in practice, you can't get no reps in the game, right? So when Fields performs in game time, now he's outperforming Russell because Russell don't have any reps. So if Fields look halfway decent, does that change Mike Tomlin's depth chart?
No, Cam, and everybody that listens to this show knows how you want to run the players into the ground. You know what I'm saying? You can't get enough reps. You can't run far enough. You can't lift enough
I want
weight.
to see some continuity.
You can't run enough drills. So now
I want to see some continuity. What's wrong with seeing some continuity between
a
new quarterback and my wide receivers?
Bro, can I finish what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, you can't do a disservice.
So as I'm finishing what I'm saying, Coach Tomlin, who I am a big fan of, has always said,
you like mediocrity. That's why you're a big fan of it.
Mediocrity, not a losing season in 27 years. Anyways, so he always says, like, don't want you out there fighting if you ain't done a little sparring. That's great. Now, I believe that he sees Justin Fields doing a lot of things. Okay. And I hear what he's saying, but if you read between the lines, he's like, that is cool. But Russell Wilson has played in the playoffs numerous times.
Come on. Russell Wilson ain't played in the playoffs in 3 seasons.
Super Bowl appearances. I believe 7
that was
straight.
10 years ago.
7 straight playoff appearances.
Oh,
so, yeah. Get your reps in. And how did Russ get his position in the first place? Because the starter in front of him decided he had a tired arm in the 4th playoff game. And Russ came out there and killed it. I don't believe Justin Fields is going to come out there and kill it. I believe that Justin Fields is going to come out there and look like Justin Fields. And they'd be like, oh, well, it's a damn good thing we have Russell Wilson out here. Now, if he comes out here and he's just like, ooh, look at Justin Fields. Like, be like, oh, wow. Well,
Yeah,
then
all of a sudden, Russ is going to be healthy real quick. He's going to be real healthy.
he's
And
already
Justin
healthy.
Fields goes out there 12 for 15.
He's already healthy. It's just a precaution that they're taking for their QB1 so that he's ready for the first game of the season.
Okay, well, okay. Yeah, I think again, Cleveland doesn't like these preseason games. He doesn't like these opportunities for players to develop chemistry amongst each other. He doesn't like when the players have to go out there and compete in real game situations
Yeah,
to,
preseason
to,
games aren't the
to see
same, man,
anything.
as when he was growing up and stuff. Yeah, it's not the same. Don't be the same.
I mean, when they kick the ball off, if there's a scoreboard, we're out there to compete and win. And if you're not out there competing to win when the whistle blows, when the kickoffs happen, I mean, I question your winning integrity. And so,
Not, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's not Braveheart in the preseason, man. It's just not that anymore.
no, but you
We're
get
not
to
doing that
see.
anymore.
Okay, listen. Okay, listen. Tom Brady did.
Cameron, we're not running all them weird drills and stuff that you used to do. We're
How
not
many?
going to Cheney, Washington, where it's like 104 degrees every day and
Let me ask you
running
this question. Answer
day.
this question for me.
You're not running the 400 like 5 times in a row after practice anymore. That's not what's going on anymore.
Answer this question for me. Answer this question for me. How often did you see Peyton Manning's backup get snaps over him? Preseason to the Super Bowl. How many times did Tom Brady's backup get snaps over him? Did we see that?
Cameron, what does that have to do with preseason games? Those guys never played in the preseason.
Again, I will ask you once again, and you tell me where I'm wrong. When did Tom Brady or Peyton Manning's backup play? When did they play? Name me Tom Brady or Peyton Manning's backup. Name one of them. I'll name Jacoby Brissett. Did he play over Tom Brady? Did he play over Tom Brady preseason or not?
No,
No,
but
he didn't.
I don't know where you're going with this.
No,
What do you-
because starting championship quarterbacks want to play. They want to get out there and perform. They want to get out there and develop the chemistry with the players that they're going to be playing with.
Cameron, times have changed. They get all that stuff done in practice. I know you don't like that because you want to see it. They get all that done in practice, like way
Do they?
more efficiently than they ever have. Yes. They truly honestly do. Or
You
they
know
wouldn't
what?
be ready, or they wouldn't be ready when the game starts. They would have had to be like, oh man, I didn't get enough reps and stuff, man. We didn't get enough game time. Like, no, you don't need any game time. We do all this stuff in practice.
What's the best fit for Brandon Ayuk? Who needs to step up and get him? If he's available, if the Niners actually trade him,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers is?
Yeah.
If I'm Miami,
If
all
you're
he wants
Miami
is
with
he wants
$177 million in contract money, you want to go get Brandon Ayuk to
if
put
I'm
in
Miami,
$250 million in contract money for your receivers, and
if
you don't
I'm
even get a
Miami,
quarterback.
if I
You're
am
talking,
Miami,
you're talking shit about Tua for 7 years.
if I'm Stephen Ross,
No, I
I'm
want.
sending
I would.
Tyreek. I'm sending Tyreek to San
Even,
Francisco. I'm sending Tyreek to San Francisco. Give me Brandon. Give me Ayuk and a couple of those draft picks that you got.
Cameron, you just cursed your franchise for another 15 years.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because what came out of your mouth is I would trade Tyreek Hill
Yes,
for Brandon Ayuk.
absolutely.
The number one player in the NFL that the players said was the number one player in the NFL. I'm so sorry. Where was Brandon Ayuk's ranking again?
Listen,
He was
Brandon,
what? No.
I don't know where Brandon
No. Look it up. I'm not even gonna look it up for you. You have to give me this number. Oh my God. The number one player in the league. We just had a 20-minute conversation about why Patrick Mahomes should be number one, but the players didn't say that. They said Tyreek Hill. What'd they say about Brandon Ayuk?
I'm about to find it
Yeah,
right now.
please. I'll wait.
But you're not listening. You're not listening to why. I wrote an article.
Why. I just explained why I'm not listening to your why. Because the player that the players said was number one, and who did the players say Brandon Ayuk was?
Number 66. Listen to why now. Listen to why. I wrote an article. I wrote an article on this, Cleveland. I wrote an article on this that said I asked if this was sustainable. I asked if it was my article was if this is sustainable to have the highest paid wide receiver and your quarterback making 50 mil. Do you remember that article that I wrote? Do you recall the article that I wrote that actually spelled that out? Are you gonna act like you didn't read the article? Oh, he doesn't want to talk that. You didn't read the article. There was a question I asked, man.
I'm so sorry, Cameron. You said 66, right?
Again, that was the list that you want to put a lot of weight and stock into.
No, I don't make the list. The players voted on this.
Yeah,
you said 66.
I told you there was a problem with that list. I told you.
So you have a problem with how the players evaluate other players?
Yeah, I actually do. They have Patrick Mahomes number 4.
So the players are wrong.
Patrick Mahomes number 4. I don't agree with the list.
So the players that play against the other players are wrong.
If they don't have Patrick Mahomes,
because you don't agree. The other players that play on the field with the other players are wrong.
Absolutely.
66-1.
Listen, I wrote an article earlier. You can find the article at voiceofthefans.org.
So you already understand how many.
Is it sustainable? Is having the highest paid wide receiver on your team and paying your quarterback $53 million is what they're paying? Is that sustainable? I don't think it's sustainable. I'd rather have a receiver I can pay a little bit less than, and maybe I can get a offensive lineman that can block. Maybe I can get a linebacker that can tackle for that extra $5-10 million that I'm saving. That's what I'm trying to do. So I don't know why you're getting all hubbub on me, and you're not listening to the financial logic of it all.
Because you didn't hear what you said before. You said you would trade the player that the NFL said was the best player in the league for the 66th best player in the league. And there's no comparison with wide receiver skills and ability between these two players.
There's some logic there. I know you don't get to hear it. There is logic there. And that's the logic I would.
Yeah, you need to go back in the lab and rework that one. Let's move right along.
Cleveland, who has a better season this year? Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts?
Statistics wise, or how far they get in the playoffs, or what are we talking about? Be more specific.
Who would you have rather? Which quarterback would you rather have going into the season? Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts?
Cam, it depends on the roster that these quarterbacks are playing on. If we were just leaving them on their same rosters, well, geez, I'd rather have Brock Purdy. He's got a better run.
Whoa, what?
Oh yeah, no, fans, I've come 180 on Brock Purdy. Yeah.
So that's good to know. Trevor Lawrence.
Sorry, Trevor Lawrence or who?
Justin Herbert.
Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert's foot's all messed up. They're downplaying it.
Be interesting to see how that thing. Because who just like I don't think Lad McConkey is going to be. I don't think he's going to be that dude. I don't think he's going to be next coming to Jordan Wilson. He may be. I'm not sure about that. Jordan Love or CJ Stroud? Who's going to have a better season? Which guy would you rather have?
Yeah, I already know, man. Cut that out.
Here's a question. Russell Wilson / Justin Fields or Bo Nix?
Russell Wilson / Justin Fields.
Regardless, huh?
Regardless.
JJ McCarthy, Sam Darnold, or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Really? Interesting. Okay. You ready to make some predictions? We made some. You ready to make some predictions or no?
Sure.
Too early to make some predictions?
I mean, they're preliminary. Fans, hope you understand that. I mean, we haven't even played a preseason game yet, but yeah, we can make some predictions.
Preseason games don't matter to you. Is it?
There's injury and there's who is playing who and what they do. Yeah, it matters. It matters less to veterans than it does to, newbies, for sure.
Who do you have? Who do you have winning the AFC East?
The New York Jets.
New York Jets. I'm going Bills, man. Right as of Bills right now. Who AFC West?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
What about the AFC North?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Over the Bengals? You got over the Bengals?
Yes, I have the Baltimore Ravens winning the division over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Lamar, you got Lamar. Surprised you don't have Mike Tomlin. Why don't you have Mike Tomlin there within the division?
No, they have a winning record. They make the playoffs because that's what they always do. That's what they do. And then once they get in, it's up to them to, take that next step. But they're not going to win the division. No.
NFC, AFC South. You going your Texans?
Yes.
But did you get a Texans jersey this offseason?
No. Don't like the colors that much.
NFC East. NFC East. Who do you have winning that division?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys. What makes you think they're? What makes you think they're going to win that division?
Well, because
They
I'm
didn't
not
pay the
sure.
quarterback.
I'm not sure what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do. There's a lot of influx and new additions on the offensive and defensive coordinator. They lost 2 linemen, so it's going to be a work in progress, and maybe it doesn't all come to fruition all at once. And I have them as the second best team in that division.
The Eagles won the division. Are you familiar with
Did the Eagles win the division last year, coming off a Super Bowl appearance?
Are you familiar with a kid named Saquon Barkley?
I sure am.
He's gonna be CJ McCaffrey of the NFC.
Okay, well that's great, but you asked me who I thought was going to win the division. I still think the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah.
NFC West.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, look at you. Brock Purdy gonna lead them to another Super Bowl appearance?
Sure is.
That sounds like nothing but that what we're dealing with? Or you're rooting for him to fail?
No, they'll get there. They just won't win it. That's what they do.
Okay.
NFC North. Is that what we said?
NFC North. Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings.
Winning the division. You know what? I'm gonna say the Detroit Lions will win the division.
You're gonna say that?
I don't really actually believe that, but that's the wiser pick.
Packers and Jordan Love, so no faith in Jordan Love.
No, I actually think Chicago's going to win the division, but I mean, conventional wisdom says Detroit Lions will win.
Yeah. What is Chicago? Just because they have the number 1 draft pick, who they're not playing preseason? That's the only guy. That's the only reason.
No, he didn't play the first game in the Hall of Fame game like 17 days ago. But he's gonna play. He's gonna play in their second preseason game for a little bit. But yeah, because of Caleb and that wide receiving core, which you don't quite understand, is awfully good.
I mean, Keenan Allen is nice. He's going to school Rome.
Keenan Allen's awfully nice. DJ Moore is awfully nice, and you already know how I feel about Rome. So, Kmet is over there. Swift catches pretty nicely out of the backfield as well. I'm just saying. I don't know who their 4th receiver is. I don't follow them that close.
Who's going to win the NFC South? Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints, Panthers. Think the Panthers can win that division?
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
You going with? You're finally giving Baker a chance to do something?
No, 7, 8, and 9 wins that division, and I think they can get to 8 wins.
You don't think the Falcons could do better? Kirk Cousins could do better?
I'm tired. Everybody's trying to convince me of all that, and Bichon's gonna just break out and do stuff he didn't do last year, and Kyle Pitts hasn't been used the way he should have been used, and Drake London is God.
You disagree?
All this potential, no, I'm not feeling it.
No faith in Bijan. I mean, I think they needed a quarterback who could be serviceable. Kirk Cousins is serviceable. Anyway, I got the Falcons in that division. So the only division we actually agree on is the Chiefs in the AFC West and the NFC West. Is two teams we agree on. I got the Texans in the AFC South. We disagree.
So we agree on three divisions then.
We disagree 3 of the 8 division winners. That'll be
Well,
just
it's,
this is
it's,
the
only- well, it's
what?
only 6 divisions, and we agree on
No,
3
there's
of them.
8. There's 8. There's 8.
But we agree on 3 of them, right?
Yeah, 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, 3 of 8. The AFC West, AFC South, and AFC West. I got the Bills. You got the Jets. I got the Bengals. You got the Ravens. I got the Eagles. You got the Cowboys. I don't know what makes you think the Cowboys win it, but they don't have a quarterback. They haven't paid the receiver. Podcast Parsons. We know how he feels halfway through the season. I don't know what you think about. They haven't. They don't. They the running back is Zeke. Zeke was prime time 4 years ago. Like, come on. Um, I got the Packers. You got the Lions. You got the Bucks. I don't know the Bucks. I mean, it's kind of. I understand that this is kind of tough to predict, but you got the Bucks over the. I mean, the Saints might be better than the Bucks. Come on now. You
The
don't.
Saints. The
You don't have
Saints.
any faith. You don't have any faith
Yeah,
in.
you have Derek Carr. Really? Would you rather
You don't
have
have
Derek
any,
Carr or Baker Mayfield right now as your quarterback?
I'm sorry.
Would you rather have Derek Carr or Baker Mayfield as your quarterback
I
right
mean,
now?
Baker. Obviously, I'm more of a Baker fan
So
than Derek
then
Carr
why
fan,
are
but
you like talking me to death about the Saints?
no, I'm not. I have the Falcons winning that division. But you got the Bucks. I'm just pointing out how you got the Bucks. Your love for Baker Mayfield. I don't know
Okay,
where
so
this.
we already agree the Carolina Panthers aren't going to win the division. So
That was my next question. Can their quarterback lead? Can their quarterback make a resurgence?
no,
No, he saw the number
this
one,
this
the number
season.
2 draft pick
No,
ascend
the
to
number 1 draft pick this season gets everybody fired and the owner selling his team, quite potentially.
temporary selling team. Yeah, I don't know who you think.
Well, I mean, or metamorphosizing into the modern day version of Dan Snyder. One or the other.
Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. That's what it says. I don't know about that one. Pretty wrong. Last week on 8/2, ceremonious day for the Lakers fans. The Lakers unveiled the statue of Kobe and Gianna in front of the stadium the Clippers used to play in. Have you seen the statue?
I have. It's beautiful.
Um, obviously Kobe and Gianna are here. This is more of a Nesta in the Lakers. Uh, add some credibility to that stadium now that the Clippers have departed. I'd like to know where's the memorial for the rest of the families, the, the rest of the victims of that helicopter crash.
Well, it's not going to be in front of the crypto arena because none of them played for the Los Angeles Lakers for 20 years and won 5 championships. So I'm not quite sure what you're saying. I'm sure that they have done something at some other location, but it's not the Crip House.
I mean, do they get their names on the statue? Like
None of them played for the Los Angeles Lakers for 20 years. They get their name somewhere else, a park or wherever, but none of them were Kobe Bean Bryant. So why would they have a statue of them in front of the Crip House? I don't understand.
they weren't. Kobe and Gianna was 2 of 8 ones that were playing.
Okay, but none of the other people, RIP, I'm not trying to be, facetious about this, but none of them played at the Crip House. None of them won 5 championships, and none of them played for the same franchise for 20 years. Why would they be given any type of acknowledgement at that particular location.
I mean, clearly, they're just trying to bring fans and cater to fans to get them to come to the stadium. Now that the Clippers is moved south to Inglewood, clearly they're trying to make this
Okay.
a place to show up.
So your premise is that because the Los Angeles Clippers are leaving, and we all heard what Paul George thought about playing for the Clippers at versus the Lakers, that this is somehow a testament to them not being there, that they gave a statue to Kobe and Gigi?
No, again, didn't they already unveil one statue for Kobe
They already had two.
with the misspellings and everything?
Yeah, they had the 24, right? They already had two, right? This is the third one, right?
I mean, what are we doing here?
It's Kobe Bean Bryant.
Cleveland, do you appreciate what Derek White is doing for the Team USA yet?
I do.
Oh, really?
I do.
About time. About time. I wondered how long it's going to take you to get on board with what Derek White, who he is, and his name. I'm a fan. What has changed your mind on Derek White?
Well, because he understands that he's not a G, he's not a superstar, he's not that dude, and he understands how to play with other players that are that dude. For example, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid. He understands how to get all of those other players that are actually have all won MVPs involved. Sorry, less Anthony Edwards. He has not won an MVP yet. The other players aforementioned have all been the best player in the league.
In other words, he's a quality role player.
He's a quality role player. And when you have a team with this many stars, man, maybe like one quality role player that just does not give a heck about any type of stats or anything and just understands how to get those other incredible players involved. He's done a great job of that.
I'm almost proud of you for acknowledging that these players are needed to have winning teams. I'm almost proud of you, Cleveland.
No. Oh, no. I didn't say anything like that. You're putting words in my mouth. No. This team has LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, and Devin Booker.
No, so you said Derek White is not a factor.
They don't need Mr. White on the team, but I understand the contribution that he brings to it. Oh, no. They wouldn't go without him, for sure.
Yeah, that's why I said almost. That's why I said I'm almost proud of him. He still ain't quite there yet. So maybe after the guy is an NBA champion, he's a when you win a championship now, he's a basketball god. This can't be refuted,
By
right?
association, let's just get it clear.
Basketball god, and now he's a gold medalist.
Sure.
I mean, how can you detract from what this guy's done now?
No, he's a great addition because he understands how to be a role player with other superstars at the highest of levels. Even when you're playing with 4 and 5 and 6 superstars all at the same time. He's done a great job of that, deferring to other superstars.
Do you agree? Do you agree with Booker's report to Noah Lyles saying that the NBA world champions are what? By saying that the best players in the world play in the NBA.
No.
No what?
I don't agree. I mean, Noah was right when he said it, and yeah,
you still agree with Noah Lyles.
The only reason that you would say that or think that is because you would be arrogant enough to think that You're just competing against each other in the same country and no one else in the world. And then, but once you send your best team to play the rest of the world, you win all the time. But you're not playing against you're not winning the championship against the whole world. You're winning the championship against the National Basketball Association. When
But the best players in the world,
the fastest people in the world.
The best players in the world playing in the National Basketball Association.
Not exclusively, they don't.
Who does? Who doesn't play?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Cam. You want to rewind? When is the next player from I'm sorry. Born on the Soil going to win the NBA MVP? Because it has been how long?
Yeah, it's been some time.
Okay.
Further to my point.
Okay.
The best players in the world play in the NBA. You don't see nobody
But
from
when you win the NBA championship, you're not playing against the world. You're playing against the NBA.
Again, I will ask you this. What player from Germany, Spain, or Austria is out there not competing who has the ability to win an NBA MVP who's not playing in the NBA? Is there one?
Okay, so
Is there somebody from South Sudan who can win the NBA MVP?
Okay, so we're down to France and Serbia, and who else?
You tell me.
I can't remember. I can't recall.
Okay. France, Serbia, let's just say France, Serbia, and US.
So check this out, bro. So when it goes back to the NBA and it goes to the NBA Finals, and Joker and Luka and Giannis and Joel. I'm so sorry.
Victor.
It's because now he's a U.S. citizen, so we can't count that. So actually, I'm so sorry. So that takes your other MVP out of the thing because he plays for the U.S. now. Oh, so asterisk by that whole list that you put together. But at any rate, you're not playing against the whole world. You're playing against the players in the NBA.
He was more the best players in the world in the NBA, though.
No, you're not. You're playing against the NBA, the National Basketball Association. This is not a worldwide competition.
Okay. I agree. It's not a worldwide competition. But you haven't answered to me who was out there in the world who could compete with the players in the NBA that's not playing in the NBA.
Well,
Patty Mills, who's killing it for his team, plays in the NBA. Dennis Schroeder, who's killing it for Germany, is playing in the NBA. Those guys playing. If you're a good basketball player, you play in the NBA. There's not your guy.
Okay, but when you win the NBA Finals title, you're not beating everyone in the whole world.
You had to beat the best players in the world to get to the top.
You're beating the players that play for certain teams in the National Basketball Association.
Listen, Sabonis is
the same thing. Not the same thing is lining up on the in the track stance and then running against whoever is the fastest. It's not the same thing.
What is your favorite? What is the famous Brazilian basketball? Never played in the NBA.
Oscar Schmidt.
There are no Oscar Schmidts. There are no Oscar Schmidts playing in the world. There's none of them. No Oscar Schmidts out there. If you're good enough to play in the NBA, you play in the NBA.
There's dozens of Oscar Schmidts. There's players that are international from everywhere. We have a conversation every year that there will not be an American-born NBA MVP forever for like 5 or 6 more years.
Exactly. So you get You're getting half the point. You're getting closer. You're getting warmer.
No, I'm not getting warm. You're not playing against the world.
You're getting warmer.
No, I'm not getting entertaining this argument anymore. You're not playing against the world. The world comes to the NBA and plays, but they're not
exactly.
They're not playing for their country. They're not playing for the same team. Joker playing for the Denver Nuggets does not mean that, like, ooh, because Joker won a championship that it's a world championship. No. Giannis winning a championship doesn't mean Greece won a championship.
No, but he's the best player in Greece. Giannis is the best player in Serbia. So them coming over and winning it, it's not like Giannis.
Okay, but when Noah Lyles steps up on the line, it's like the fastest people from whatever country you are from.
Okay, we agree to disagree there. I disagree.
It's not a hodgepodge of just, oh, you're from here, you're from there, you're from here, you're from there. Like, no, man, it's not a world championship.
When we see NBA players participate in a 3-on-3 competition moving forward, no. When we get smoked in a 3-on-3. You don't think we're gonna see any?
Well, I mean, they were embarrassed that Jimmer Fredette and them couldn't bring it home, but no.
You don't think we're gonna see any better players than Jimmy Fredette playing in 3-on-3 tournament? We can't do better than Jimmy Fredette.
Probably. I mean, of course we can do better than Jimmy Fredette.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think that?
No, we're not going to see Steph and KD.
I mean, no, I didn't say NBA MVPs, but will we see some better players playing in 3-on-3? Like,
I mean, they're a little embarrassed by this. They're gonna go back and kind of regroup. Like, how do you really win this 3-on-3 thing? Like,
yeah, they get some better players. They get some better players than Jimmy Fredette taking on the world.
But no, we're not going to see Bam Adebayo and Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown playing 3-on-3 and they win the 3-on-3. No.
Is it good or bad that Mikal Bridges signs a team-friendly deal to play with the Knicks?
I love what everyone on the New York Knicks is doing, organizational-wise, player-wise. But you know where this is going, right?
They're homies. They want to play together. What's wrong with that?
You know where this is going, right?
What, this is going to implode? What are we going to see?
It's not going to implode because everyone is so tight. It's the 5 heartbeats, man. It's the Villanova Wildcats from, 15 to 17? Everybody, oh, my God, man. Went to keg parties together, went to Dick's Drive-In, got deluxe fried 2 tartar after the games and stuff. Man, they been tight like forever.
So,
but that team is not built to win an NBA championship.
What did they miss last year? Well, no, they lost Hart. I know you don't believe. Again, we talked about world players and what their contribution. You don't like big men who hustle and play good defense and hit the ground and go dive on the floor after loose balls. They're gonna miss that. And they're gonna miss what Hartenstein brought to the floor. And Hartenstein joining OKC elevates them to number one in the Western Conference.
So Cameron, even with him, they couldn't get past the second round.
No, listen. See, you didn't let me finish. They needed that 3-and-D guy. They didn't really. They were undermanned. Josh Hart at 6'5" isn't really the 3-and-D guy. At 6'4", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", he really isn't. He's really a. They needed a 3-and-D, a legitimate 3-and-D guy who Bridges is. They pair him with Julius Randle. If Julius Randle fits in, understand that now you're probably number 3, dude. You're not one option no more. You're gonna have to pass the ball. You're gonna have to catch and shoot. That's what you're gonna do. You go down low, you catch and work the
I'm
magic.
so sorry. Did you say Julius Randle is going to have to catch and shoot?
Yeah, he's gonna have to go to the low post
Oh
up.
boy! Oh, Cam! Wow, that's a first round loss. If that's what he's trying to do, they can at least get to the second round if he just goes left every time and just muscles his way to the hole.
But no, I mean
he's 20 and 10. I mean, at least they get to the second round with that philosophy.
You think Julius Randle?
Make a long story short, they will not get past the second round next year, or the year after that, or the year after that.
Iman is hating. How would you like to play with your college homies? How good would you? How much more professional at work would you be? Would you perform working with your college
Cameron?
homies?
If I went to go play with the Five Heartbeats, man, we've been knowing each other since we were 17 years old, man, and been through all types of trials and tribulations of life, man, and just the maturation process from a teenager to an adult man to a multi-millionaire, man, that would be the coolest thing ever. You will not get past the second round.
Okay. What does Tyus Jones do for the Suns?
He gives them stability.
Does he make them better?
Point guard position for sure. Yeah.
What's that? I missed it. I'm sorry.
I said he gives them stability at the point guard position for sure. Yeah, that makes them better. I mean, trying to have Devin Booker or Bradley Beal kind of do that is not what they do. So yeah, Tyus is a great addition. Does that get them past the second round? I don't think so, but we'll see.
I mean,
they have four better. Actually, they have two Olympians, and the Knicks that you're talking about, they have none.
I mean, Booker's just on the team.
No, I thought I was. You heard me cussing him out. You heard me cussing him out a few weeks ago. Not you didn't see the Brazil game. Okay,
Booker's just on the team.
That Devin Booker shows up. Oh,
but Tyus Jones. I mean, if I'm leadership there, I call Bradley Beal to the office. Bradley, I call Bradley Beal into the office. Yo, $50 million, bro. Number one, you're gonna.
Hey man, again, Cam. Let's just stick with the football, okay? Because when you start transitioning to basketball, you say weird stuff. Like Tyus Jones addition means Bradley Beal to make less money. Like, no, man.
No, less money. He might not have a jersey. He might not have a jersey.
Oh, wow. Really? Oh, for real?
Yeah. I'm not paying you $50 million to come off the bench. That's not going to work.
Who said he was coming off the bench? I mean,
Tyus Jones.
Cameron, you're not the coach. I'm not the coach. But make no mistake about it, Tyus Jones didn't come in here to, revolutionize the way the franchise is being run. Or even the personnel on the court. I mean, it's just like, okay, we had no point guard last year. You're kind of a point guard.
He's a much better point guard. He's a much better point guard than Bradley Beal. And therefore, do you put Bradley? Do you start the Olympian? Do you start Bradley Beal over either one of the Olympians, the gold medalists that you just mentioned?
Okay, so check this out, man. Bradley Beal and Devin Booker still start, and then Tyus Jones comes in inadvertently, and does some things, and it just kind of depends on what type of rotation that they want.
That's the philosophy they're going with. They're going to be one and done in the playoff.
Okay, well, if that's not the philosophy, that they certainly are not getting to the second round and playing Denver or the Lakers or Dallas.
Bradley Beal, you got the no trade clause. Either we're gonna have to do something with that no trade clause, buddy, or it's
Oh no, I know how you do, Cam. Hey man, hey man, you got to make it good for me. I know.
I mean, the NBA is not like the NFL where they
And then,
just
and
come
then,
in
and then,
and
and then
determine
you
the
want to get in
contract.
somebody's face and say, because we got Tyus Jones.
I mean, they got Tyus Jones, and see, I told you last year when they brought Grayson Allen in that he was going to be a difference maker.
I know,
They
and
have
then,
to
and
have
then,
Grayson
and then
Allen playing.
that'll probably be your second conversation. And plus, we got Grayson Allen.
Bradley, I don't have no room for you, big dog.
Okay.
I don't have no room for you. I got you. You can't play over. You can't play over either Olympian, either gold medalist. I don't have enough. You can't play over Grayson Allen. You don't do more than Grayson Allen does on the court, and you can't run the offense like Tyus Jones. Bradley, no.
So your plan
Where
is to
you want to
go.
go in the NBA, man? Do you want to go? What
Plan,
city do you like?
just to be clear, your plan is to go and tell Bradley Beal that, hey man, you're not as good as Grayson Allen right now.
My plan is to talk to Bradley Beal and ask him which city does he like, because we don't have room for you in Phoenix. Do you like Atlanta? Do you like Brooklyn?
Okay. Well, I mean,
Do you
if
like
you
Memphis?
if
Do you like Minnesota? Like
if you're
which
going,
city do you prefer? Because really,
well,
there's no room
so
for
a few things here. The owner hasn't expressed that sentiment, and secondly, if you're going to do that, then you have to have a much more personal conversation because Bradley Beal has a no trade.
That's what I'm saying. You finally heard me, Cleveland. He has a no trade clause, so we have to talk about it. Yo, Bradley, I can't pay you $50 million to come off the bench. Looking at my roster, buddy, right now, you come off the bench.
Would the Clippers want him?
Not at 50 mil. Not at 50 mil.
Would the Clippers want 24 points a game? Would the Clippers want Bradley Beal?
I mean, they didn't want to give. They didn't want to give. They offered Paul George 2 years, 60. So
you're dancing around the question. My question was, do the Clippers want Bradley Beal?
I don't know. I don't know if my man. I don't know if my man Ty Lue is going for that one. But they could use his 24
I do. No. Would the Clippers want Bradley Beal?
It depends on the package. At 60 mil, no. At 50 mil per, no. If he does a signing, if he wanted to come to Inglewood and play in the most innovative stadium in NBA history, and play next to Kawhi, I mean, we can sit down and talk. But you're not making $50 million next year.
Well, he's not going to take less money to play for you guys. He has a contract. It's an NBA contract. The question is, do you want the 24 points a game?
Do we want to pay for 50 mil for the 24 points a game and no defense? No. We'll see if Kevin Porter Jr. can get us to 24 points a game.
Okay, cool.
I let Kevin Porter Jr. get some shots up before
until he bites somebody's face off. Okay, that's
cool. We got Ty Lue to keep him cool, help him mature.
Is he the answer? The calming effect in the locker room. Sure.
Lauri Markkanen signed 5-238 with the Jazz. What's your thoughts on that?
That's how the contracts are going to start to sound, going to start to look. They're going to be a lot like them soccer contracts, and you'd be like, wow, I don't understand the math. And then you try to do it again. It's like, no, I still don't understand the math. That's just how the league is going. So I can't say like who's overpaid or like what are they doing. Like, no, this is where the contracts are going.
I mean, Markkanen, I think maybe I need to bring my man Eric on the show, because I think this makes him untradeable for at least 6 months.
Yeah, perhaps. I believe there are certain clauses that when you sign them,
untradeable. But by the trading deadline, perhaps he's could be available. But they were trying to get him in. I thought he would have fit well in Golden State. I mean, Golden State has to do something. Do you think Golden State plays the final years of Curry's career with him and Draymond, and that's it? That's what you think happens?
Hoping that Kuminga and those other players develop, but they're not going to develop fast enough or good enough. And
so you just see this is we've seen the best of the Golden State Warriors with Stephen Curry. I mean, it comes quick. Life comes fast, don't it? Because boy, this is going down here quickly. Should Orlando Magic consider Dennis Schroeder is he plays like Allen Iverson when he puts on the Germany jersey? Should the Orlando Magic go ahead and sign Dennis Schroeder? Put him with Franz and Mo Wagner? You don't think so? They need a point guard. I mean, neither one of those guards they drafted from Greg Anthony's son to dude from Gonzaga, Minnesota Gonzaga.
You don't like Cole Anthony or Suggs. Wow.
It's not that I don't like
So
have they performed in the NBA?
Truth be told, I do think Dennis Schroeder is better than both of those 2 point guards that you aforementioned. However, no one likes Dennis Schroeder. That's his problem.
Well, I don't think that's his problem. I think Dennis Schroeder has more confidence in his ability than anybody else has in his ability.
No, he kicks people in their nuts. He knees them in their sternum. People don't like him, so he's a hard player to be around all the time.
No, Schroeder's actually he's a cool.
No, he's not. Not on the court. I mean, maybe off the court, he's a great guy because he's making so much money and he's from Germany. Like, oh my gosh, I don't have to live in Frankfurt anymore. Yeah, that's cool, but no, players don't want to play with him.
I think Orlando needs a point guard for some reason. If they
hey Cameron, if you're going out with the homies, are you inviting the point guard from the Los Angeles Lakers with you to go where you're going?
I think they need Schroeder to the table. He's better than those other guys. Just have
the answer to your question was no, because the players don't like that dude, and players don't like Dennis Schroeder. They don't like him.
Hey, are you going to mention that guy's name at all? Are you ever going to mention your guy's name? TNT resigned Barkley. I think they like a 10-year deal. So we might not have seen the last inside the NBA after all. Will you still tune into the NBA on TNT if they don't have the games?
No. What are we talking about? They're just going to have a show where they don't play any of the games and just talk about the games? Does the NBA even?
They're the sports
the NBA saying that was okay. I don't recall them giving their express.
Doesn't Sports Center air every single night though? The Sports Center comes on every night, right?
Because the NBA gives their express written consent for them to do that. TNT doesn't have that, man.
You don't think they could be like George Michael Sports Machine, commentating on every game and showing highlights?
I'm not quite sure the contractual obligations of all that. I don't understand why you would pay Charles Barkley $20 million a year to do that, and there's no games that are actually being shown.
Because it's been the best show must-see TV during the NBA season for the past 5-6 years. For a decade, some would say. So if they're able to maintain that fan base, by showing, having the show, having ESPN still does Sports Center. Obviously, they're they're able to show the game, but they have sports. You don't think that works? Huh? I don't know.
The NBA is not paying them, so who's paying for all that? All the studio and Ernie and Kenny and Shaq and Chuck. Before the NBA was paying for all those salaries, they're not doing that anymore.
Paying them. I mean, they're advertising. Advertising is going to pay him. And I don't know.
We'll have this economics conversation a little bit later, but yeah, no, it doesn't pencil out.
Did you hear Draymond Green? I don't like this dude, and much less hear really anything he says. But did you hear Draymond Green saying the 2024 Team USA beats the Dream Team 5 out of 7 games? Oh, you agree with that?
No, I'm just saying. No, I didn't hear that, but that's interesting that he says that. Yeah.
So we got a little exercise. Got a little exercise. Picture fans. I want you to do the same thing. Cleveland, picture a bracket. I have a bracket to post. I guess I probably should have did this earlier. Should have had a bracket to post. A picture a bracket. In fact, I'll show you. Picture a bracket. Let's see. Okay. There you go. There you go. You see it right here? Can you see that? Is that clear enough for you right there?
I see it.
So tell me if you disagree with the way this shakes out. Team USA, or it's not Team USA, 1992, they would be number 1 seed. If we seeded all of these teams, what's up, Lotta? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. If the way this shakes out, and we do a bracket, we put teams from 1992, Team USA teams from 1992 to
Okay.
2024. Would you agree that the number 1 seed would be Team USA?
Yeah,
Imagine
that 4 for 08 is a little low.
you have them better than 2012? You have them better than this year, 2002 or 2024?
I have them better than the 12 team.
You have them better than the 12 team. Okay. Do you have them competing with?
No, I'm sorry, I can't see the other teams. I see 1 and 8, 4 and 5. Who's the 2 and 3?
You see one in okay, there you go. Help me out. So 2 was 2024 team. 3 is 2012 team. Number 6, I think number 6 is kind of low. I mean, 96.
So I think
with Gary Payton and Charles Barkley.
I think 6 is 5, and I think
Huh?
I think 6 is 5, and I think 4 is 3.
What do you do in 2012?
They're good. They come down to
6 or 7?
No, they come down to 5, right? Because
let's see who was on that team. Maybe you forget who's on that team. Can you see?
Oh,
Carmelo, that's your guy, Carmelo. Kobe, Tyson Chandler. Kevin Durant, James Harden. You moving them out of the? You're moving them out of the number 3 seed?
So I'm so sorry. The 2008 team has Tim Duncan on it, right? And Dwayne Wade and LeBron James on it.
What wasn't 2008 the team that who lost? What team that lost? Was that 2004 that lost?
Yeah, that's the team that lost.
This was a redeem team.
Yes.
Number 4 was a redeem team.
Correct. Yes.
Carmelo, Carlos Boozer, Chris Bosh, Dwight Howard, LeBron. They're not better than 2012 team.
So the 8 team has LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, and Tim Duncan.
The 2018? No, we just looked at that one.
I can't see it, bro. So let me know, or I can look it up.
Hold on. Oh, you can't. Okay. 2008. I'm looking at the 2008 team right now. Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Chris Bosh, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, Tayshaun Prince, Michael Redd, Dwayne Wade, LeBron Williams. That's the 2018.
So Tim or no Tim? I didn't hear you.
No Tim. No. Tim was on that 2014.
So it has Kobe, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade on it, right?
Yeah. Yes. Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Chris Bosh, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard. That was the redeem team, right?
Yeah, it's a better team, man. What are we talking about here?
Oh, you're looking them up? I think the only really the true underrated team on this is that 96 team is the one that's really underrated.
Yeah, that's why we bumped them up.
So who are you? You're saying 08 needs to be where 2012 is. I don't know about that one.
Bro, I mean, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You don't think the 08 team is better than the 2012 team?
No. Oh, 12. Kobe, Tyson Chandler, Anthony Davis,
the 12 team. The 12 team has Tyson Chandler,
Harden,
Iguodala, Kevin Love, and a 19-year-old Anthony Davis on it, and Darren Williams.
I mean, you talked about what Derek White has done for this Olympic
man
team.
See, now you're trying to weave your Derek White theme into it, man. No,
Anthony Davis is the perfect guy. Anthony Davis is the perfect guy for the Olympic squad. Perfect guy. So just play defense and block shots. No scoring. And you got Carmelo, Anthony, Kobe Bryant, your guy Carmelo. Get out of here. Kevin Durant, James Harden, 2012, James Harden. Come on now. Come on now. I mean,
2012. How long has James Harden been in the league?
That was 2004. He got traded to Houston in 2014. So this is pre-Houston James Harden. Killer. killer who actually played defense.
2 years?
Was that 2000?
A
Was
year?
that better
A year?
than the
A year?
2008
A year?
Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Chris
A year?
Bosh?
2 years?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
think they.
Dwight Howard was solid, and that was pre.
So
That was pre
2012 is his first year in the league, or second year in the league, because they lost the championship to the Miami Heat.
He wasn't. That wasn't his first year. He was like 3 years in. He was like 3 years. But still, 2008 had D Wade.
James
Deron Williams, Michael Redd, Tayshaun Prince, Jason Kidd, LeBron James. I mean, I go with the 2012 team. I go with that 2012 team. I go with that 2012. But either way, I got 2000. I got that. I do have, I do have the 96 team beating that 2012 in my opinion. I think that 96 team would beat them.
So you have them seeded higher, but not winning the game against the 96.
Yeah, because I think on paper that 2012 team is solid, but 96, bro, 96 was it was beasted. 96 had Charles Barkley, Gary Payton, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Karl Malone, Reggie Miller, Shaq. I mean, man, come on.
Yeah,
that's 96 team. That 96 was that was a team too.
Little underrated.
That 96 team was that 96 team was hell. That 96 was like you had a lot of what else? Penny before he got hurt, Grant Hill before he got hurt, Reggie Miller, Shaq, Akeem. Oh, come on, Gary Payton, Scottie Pippen. Come on now, Scottie Pippen coming off 3 championships. That 96 team was hell. So yeah, I got the 96 team beating the 2012 team. Although half 6 of one, half dozen of another. I think you agree 2024 beats 2016?
Yes.
So that leaves us 92 versus 2000. Who was on the 2000 team? Do you remember that team?
That's the Vince Carter jumping over the French dude team.
Okay, they weren't. Were they? That Vince Carter had a hell of a highlight. Were they great though? Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Ray Allen, Ben Baker, Kevin Garnett, Tim Hardaway, Allen Houston, and get out of here. Gary Payton got 3. He got 3 medals.
If he's on the 4, he gets 2 golds and a bronze.
Huh?
I said if he's on the 04 team, he gets 2 golds and a bronze.
I mean, that's a banana. I didn't know he had that. I didn't know he had that big. But yeah, I got 08 beat me. And then so 92 beats 2000, right? You would agree with that one? Do you agree or disagree?
92 beats 2000, yes.
2024, this year's team beats 2016. Woo, that would be, I'd love to see that one. What do you think in the teams they are as they were that season that they played? So now we get the 40-year-old LeBron, you get KD, the 35-year-old KD, 35-year-old. They beat the 96 Dream Team.
It's a tough game.
Yeah, sheesh.
It's a tough game.
Barkley, Gary Payton, Shaq, Akeem. I don't know about that one. I mean, I was just saying 2024 really for Draymond's argument to have the matchup. He wins. Let me repeat.
But you know,
Let me repeat that.
Draymond already has that.
1996 squad. Let me repeat that 1996 squad because just for those who don't remember, 1996 Dream Team Olympic team had Charles Barkley, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Karl Malone, Reggie Miller, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, Gary Payton, Scottie Pippen, Mitch Richmond, David Robinson. Oh boy, do they beat this year's two? Oh, Cleveland. Do they beat this year?
It's hard to say.
I mean, they can't. They not gonna have this team. Joel Embiid has nothing for Shaq. Has nothing for Hakeem.
Yes, Stockton and GP at your point guards, and then you have Reggie Miller and who do you say the other shooting? Mitch Richmond at your shooting guards, and then your post guys are Shaq, Hakeem, and David Robinson, and then your other guy is
and you got
Karl
Scotty.
Malone
Don't
and
forget
Charles
about
Barkley,
Scotty and Grant
and then
and Penny Hardaway.
Your small forwards are Grant Hill and Scottie Pippen, and your other floating 2, 1, 2, or 3 guard or 1, 2, or 3 is Penny Hardaway. Yeah, it's a better team. It's a better team.
Oof. Okay, so now, so that changes things up a little bit, and if we agree that 96 beats 2024, now we're looking at 96 versus 92 with MJ. I mean, MJ
96 versus 92. 92 wins.
Even with Shaq and Hakeem, David Robinson, and who else was there? Patrick Ewing.
David Robinson's on the 92. So the 92 team is, I mean,
David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Shaq and Hakeem. No, Shaq.
So the 92 team is what? Stockton and Malone. It's Jordan and Pippen. It's Mitch Richmond and Chris Mullin.
Remember, this is Jordan and Pippen coming off the first championship. Like,
no, second. First one's 91.
They won in 91. So, I mean,
so they win 91 and they win in 92 and they go to the Olympics. So we have Jordan and Pippen. And then we have Stockton and Malone. And then we have David Robinson. And then we have Charles Barkley. We have Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond. And then we have
96 might get
Mullin. I'm sorry. No, and then we have Clyde Drexler. What are you saying?
I said 96 might get
I have to play it out. I mean, it's hard to say. I would argue the other way, but
let me look at this.
The 96 team had a lot of players that almost got there as their best player, but never really actually got there as their best player.
92, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Clyde Drexler, Patrick Ewing, Magic Johnson, Christian Laettner, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, and John Stockton. Versus the 96 team. Where you have Charles Barkley, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Karl Malone, Reggie Miller, Shaq, Hakeem, Peyton. I think that's the difference right there. Shaq, Hakeem, and Peyton. Like, dog, you're not going inside. I got you can't stop my big men. Then I got Gary Payton, Scottie Pippen playing defense. I got shooting with Mitch Richmond. I still got David Robinson cut off the bench, and I still got John Stockton matching up against themselves. Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, and still Charles Barkley is a beast in '96 still. I mean, Michael Jordan is better than everybody mentioned. Oof, we got a woof. That would be fantastic to watch. That'd be fantastic to watch. But yeah, 2024. Come on, this started with the discussion of that started with the discussion of what your guy Draymond Green said, and I just broke it down. I don't think 2024 in the brackets makes it to the 92 team. It's 92 and 96.
96 team, probably it's a tough game. But I mean,
yeah.
It's hard to say with Steph and LeBron and KD. It's hard to say. It's a hard place to start.
I mean,
It's
but
an awfully hard
96 again. You can't come inside. You cannot come inside,
bro.
And then I got Scottie Pippen and Gary Payton on the wings.
Okay, but if we're taking into account the evolution of the game, there is nobody stepping out to guard Kevin Durant. There's nobody that is stopping.
I can't put Penny. I can't put Penny
There's
out there.
Nobody that
I can't put Scottie Pippen out there.
On who?
Huh? You can't.
You put Scottie Pippen on Kevin Durant.
I have no choice.
Okay, well, look at you.
Mitch Richmond can't guard him.
I have no choice. I have to see somebody out there to try and stop that 7-foot dude from shooting for 3-point. I have to see.
I only have Scotty.
I know. I only have Scotty. And is it enough?
Hardaway, yeah.
But what you said was, but what you failed to say is that's probably not enough. It's probably not enough. Scottie Pippen running out there trying to guard Kevin Durant.
Man, it's
gonna be hard. It's gonna be a battle trying to guard LeBron, but you have no chance. You have no chance trying to guard Kevin Durant.
So okay, if I put Scotty on LeBron, I don't have. Yeah, they're a matchup. I mean, I can't put Barkley on either one of those guys.
I'm so sorry, Joel Embiid. Which one of those guys are you bringing out? You bringing Shaq out to 3-point?
Oh, Akeem locks him up. Akeem locks him up.
So Akeem's coming out to 3-point range. When you ever see him do that?
Joel, I could put David Robinson on him too. Come on.
Oh, really? When you ever see David Robinson go out to 3-point range to guard somebody?
David Robinson's going to frustrate him. I mean, Embiid is not going to be. That's all he can do. That's his best thing to do is shoot threes. But why would they have?
He actually is the MVP of the league and can score 33 points a game, just like those other.
Not against David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon or Shaquille O'Neal. Not against those guys.
Sure.
Again, what 7-footer has he seen consistently? What's that?
There's not a whole bunch of 7-footers out there right now, but again,
exactly.
Which one of those guys, Shaq, we already eliminated him. He's not coming out to 3-point range. Akeem, incredible footwork. He's actually not coming out to 3-point range either. And David Robinson, he's long. A little uncomfortable out there at the 3-point range.
Do you want Joel shooting? We already mentioned you got Kevin Durant. You got Kevin Durant out there. You want Joel Embiid shooting? I'll give Joel Embiid 3-pointers. If Kevin Durant's not shooting them, I'm giving them to Joel Embiid.
No, you don't have to just give them to him because there's Devin Booker and Steph Curry that also can shoot from 40 feet away.
But I got Gary Payton. I got Gary Payton. Ooh, I got Gary Payton. I got Penny Hardaway. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with defending those guys.
I don't know what the Madden results would be. Tough game.
Yeah, it would be that would be. But all the starting fans still know what Draymond had to say. Yeah. Looking at it, I'm not sure 2024 makes it. 2024, makes it to the final game of the tournament against
The Dream Team.
against the team. I'm not sure. Man, thank you guys for sticking with us, man. That was a good conversation. It's over around the clock. Cleveland around the applause, Cleveland, uh, having some genuine feedback on that. I start talking about the history of the NBA. Cleveland gets lost in the weeds somehow. So let's give Cleveland a round of applause for hanging through there. Fans, something we do, not many other podcasts do. Fans, we give you a week in history. Talk about things that happened in the past. 8/7, 1954, Charles Mahoney is confirmed by the Senate and becomes the first black to serve as a full delegate of the United Nations. 1954. August 7, 1936, Cleveland, Jesse Owens was 4 gold medals in one Olympic meet. August 6, 1965, voting rights bill, which outlawed the requirement that would be voters in the United States take a literacy test to qualify to vote, is signed by President Lyndon Johnson. Obviously, they had that rule there. You have to take a literacy test because they didn't want to educate the black folks and try to eliminate the black vote. That was signed into law in 1961. August 9, 1961, James B. Pearson becomes first African American judge appointed by the Federal District Court. Cleveland, August 11, 1965, the Watts riot began when Lee Minicus, a California Highway Patrol officer, pulled over Marquis Fry, who Minicus believed was intoxicated. Over the next 6 days, 34 people reported dead. 28 of them were black. 1,072 people were injured. 4,000 people were arrested in what we know back in 1965. August 5th, 1962, Nelson Mandela was arrested after living on the run for 17 months near South Africa. He was later sentenced to 5 years. August 7, 1954, Englishman Roger Bannister beats Australian John Landy in the mile at Empire Games in Vancouver. First time two men run a sub 4 minute mile in the same race. I didn't know what happened in the same race. Cleveland, August 7, 1956. A 51-year-old Satchel Paige of the Miami Marlins went to game before the largest crowd in minor league history of 57,000 at Orange. Marlins beat Columbus in 62. August 7, 2007, San Francisco slugger and shame flaxseed oil user Barry Bonds hits 756 home runs, career home run to break Hank Aaron's long-standing Major League Baseball record. Why? What was that reaction for? He didn't say use admitted using flaxseed.
It was twofold. First of all, Satchel Paige did not pitch for the Miami Marlins, and secondly, I didn't appreciate the way you were doing doing Barry Lamar Bonds.
August 7, 2018, Cleveland. Crazy Rich Asians. First Hollywood film with all age cast premieres in Los Angeles on a $30 million budget, Cleveland. They made $26 million on opening weekend, $174 million domestically, 64 internationally, 200 and $39 million in total on a $30 million budget. Have you ever seen Crazy Rich Asians?
I have. Yeah, Nick Young. He was killing him.
I still haven't seen that, Cleveland. Um, Cleveland, what are your let's talk about the Olympics, man. You got the Olympic what have been your top Olympic moments in these Olympics that you've seen?
Without question, Cam, it's been the 100-meter men's final, man. That was the closest 100
That's the finish.
final in
Finish
the history of the Olympics. And the suspense after all the buildup, I mean, it lived up to the billing like few things you'll ever see.
Yeah, that was. I mean, photo finish. We haven't seen that before. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. What about the comeback? The USA losing the 400-meter mixed relay. That was pretty wild too.
That was amazing. When it's the Belgium or the Netherlands? I think it was Belgium.
Netherlands. I think it was
Netherlands. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like insurmountable, and that 400 is hard, man. My dad used to always tell me, like, for sprinters, man, when they want to punish you, they make you run the 400, man, because you just never know. It's all or nothing forever. And so, like, when she ran her down, that was crazy. That was a great race.
That was crazy. I think that was one of the bigger moments. The mid 1500. Did you see that one when dude came? Hawk was his name? Was his name Hawk? I think it was Hawkins or Hawk. He was in third place. Dude charged out. He stayed right there, and I thought he was going to lose it when he tried to sneak in the inside, and the dude kind of saw him and kind of cut him off and made him, lose, take a couple off steps that weren't in rhythm. I thought he had lost it right then, but then the leader, the guy was trying to came on the outside, and the leader tried to, step to the outside and kind of nudge him. And dude took the inside, it was gone and burst. That was pretty impressive. Man, for 1500, and to have that stamina and closing speed. What is the fourth time around the track? Like you talk about the 400 is crazy. This is the fourth time coming around the track. Like, dude, you had to dig deep to come back and win that one. I thought that was pretty impressive as well. I mean, Sha'Carri, she wins a silver medal. I thought was more impressive with the old girl who won the gold medal. I mean,
yeah, I reached out to Tyler about that one, man. I was incredibly disappointed. The reason I say that is not because Sha'Carri did anything wrong. It's just the whole build up and, like, as the fans know and fans that don't know, I covet the athlete that can talk the talk and then walk the walk. But if you just talk and then don't deliver, it's very, like, it's a very hollow feeling to, like, be like, oh, because no one's gonna have sympathy for you.
Super medal. She's still
no. She didn't come out like I just hope I win a medal. I'm just happy to be here. No. She came out like, no, I am the baddest bitch on the planet. And then you deliver. And then, let me finish. And then Sharika wasn't in it from Jamaica. Shelly wasn't in it from Jamaica. And so then the only person she had was Julian Alfred from St. Lucia, who had been running very, very well. She had been
Alfred was not going to lose. Alfred wasn't going to lose the race. She came in there. She got a great start.
I thought Sha'Carri was the one that couldn't be stopped.
She
without the Jamaicans, no Jamaicans.
She won a silver medal. I can't. Come on. I mean, can't.
Nah, I'm
what is this? What the heck is this? They got rock climbing, wall climbing. Is an Olympic contest?
quite
These
possible.
girls just scaling the wall. I'm sorry, man. I just got distracted. I just saw these guys scaling the wall. Have you seen this? Have you seen wall climbing?
I don't
It
think
looked
so.
like wall climbing. I can't call it rock climbing because they're not on a rock. But jeez, that was crazy. This girl just scaling the wall in competition. Nonetheless, I mean, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. I think that was a lot of the disappointment with her not going to the Olympics 2 years or 3 years ago. But you got to remember,
No,
too.
but no, the 3 years ago was okay. She was smoking weed. Okay, not a performance
Okay,
enhancing
I
drug.
mean, but there was a lot of talk and a lot of hype
Yeah,
then.
yeah. But no, she had made it all up. She had went to the world and won the 100. She went to the world in 200. Went to the Olympic trials, won the 100. 200, saw that she was not going to make it. I'm like, okay, not going to make it. But then when you go all Tupac on me, all eyes on me. No. When you go all Tupac, all eyes on me, and then don't win, I want to hear all your stories, man.
Wow. So what Tyler had to say? I mean, come on.
He said he'd been saying like you said, he came on the show and said Alfred's been the one all year.
Yeah. I mean,
and then
she's
it was
radar.
terrible, right? Like because at 40, you could tell it wasn't. She was not going to be.
I mean, she got the jump on her. She got the jump, and it just powered through. I mean, Alfred really looks bigger and stronger. So she carries a little girl. She's a little, she's just quick. But her start has been the problem. Alfred got off to the start and just powered through and couldn't, won kind of easy, if you will. And she left the second place to, whoever else. She carried right. I'm not gonna ding her that she lost to, the girl. I think the more ding, as you mentioned, is her not competing in the 200. I think that's more of a. If you run into 100,
the 200 is not really her race, so it's it was like
if you're that fast in 100, you should be able to compete consistently in the 200. Like
what?
if you're that competitive in the 100, you should be able to compete in the 200.
It doesn't necessarily translate like that.
But I mean, Gabby Thomas is
same kind of speed.
She's dominated.
Gabby Thomas will get smoked in the 100. By the time you get to 200, she's smoking you. But no, she's not going to win the 100.
I'm interested to see tomorrow.
She's not even going to qualify for the Olympic finals in the 100. But by the time you get to like 120, 130, she's certain that's when the speed kicks in. Not everybody's speed kicks in like that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this 400 tomorrow, though. This 400 tomorrow with the girl who ran down the mixed 400.
Oh yeah,
against Gavoni. That's gonna be a one. Did you watch I got caught at the airport, man, watching the ping pong. Well, not only at the airport, I saw the finals at the airport. But the ping pong, seeing dude, the Sweden knock out the number one guy. That's pretty freaking impressive, man. Did you watch? You watch any of the ping pong? Table tennis, as they call it.
I watched none of the table tennis, unfortunately.
You watched none of it. That was pretty impressive. They're playing the Sweden playing China, dude. So I don't know. There's a lot of I think a lot of Olympic stuff, that kind of competitions that caught my eye. There was something else I want to touch on. But I thought those were some of the top things that caught my eye. Which is more impressive? What Katie Ledecky is doing in these Olympics, or her Olympics? I guess I want to say career in total. Katie Ledecky, her 15 gold medals versus Simone Biles, like 11 gold medals. Which is more impressive?
Katie Ledecky.
She, in the 1500 free, she She got 7 of the top 8 records, 7 of the top 10 records ever. That is
It's hard to say that with a straight face, right? Like the 8 fastest. Your name just
your whole list. Which one? Oh, we just went to the 19 Team USA 92 to 2024. Ledecky. Which one you would choose? The 2000 Ledecky or the 2012 Ledecky? Which one you want? Like the girls, I mean, but Miles at 28, 28 though. Like usually those girls are done. She's 10 years past her prime in gymnastics, right? She's
well,
competing with
I
girls.
mean, that's the thing that you can say about Simone is that it's carried over several Olympics. I mean, obviously, Katie Ledecky's records have as well, but I mean, it's just not like the most phenomenal performance you've ever seen. Like the top 8, like most phenomenal
Well,
performances.
yeah. I mean, I have to say it again. I was bashing Simone Biles for bailing out with the twisties in the
Oh
last.
you threw her
I was
under the bus,
bashing her.
and
I have to say I was wrong, Simone. I apologize, Simone. Please accept my apology. I apologize. When you come back and show that I'm just as good as ever and potentially better than I've been, like, oh, Simone, I apologize. Okay. Well, Katie Ledecky is being like since she was 15. I mean, what is she now? Is she the same age? I mean, she can't. She's not over 30.
I don't know how old she is, but I know that like all the records just say that her name over and over again, and
Right. Whatever she competes in, her name is there. Right. Fair enough.
gold medals is ridiculous.
Oh, what do you think about the dude who won the today? What's my man name? My man, Quincy Hall in the 400. You see that today?
I heard about it. I have not actually had an opportunity to see the race, but I heard he ran him down.
So most times in the and I'll get to Katie Ledecky's age here in a second. But most times the runners are taught to run loose and be free, and your body needs to be loose to get the most out of it that you can. Dude was gritting and grinding the last 100 and was able to power down and come from third to first, which was just crazy because it was all effort. And he was not loose. He was all tense. And just imagine if he come back next time and be able to run like loose and free and not be so tensed up. He might be able to run a faster time. But he chased him down. That was impressive to chase him down uh, and win gold, which was fantastic. Katie Ledecky. Let's see how old Katie is. Overview. And she is her 97. So she was born in 97. So what is that? 20, 24 plus 3, 20, 27. So they're about the same age.
27, excuse me.
They're,
Yeah.
they're about the same age. Um, yeah, I mean, dominant. Either way, it's is the Seine River, is the poor quality in the Seine River a stain up there, do you think? Did they have to cancel the triathlon? I'm not. I knew they were going. It was looking like they had to cancel the triathlon and have to do a duathlon. I'm not sure if they canceled that or not.
I wouldn't say it's staying on it. It's probably just, it's something that's relatively speaking, like, what are you going to do about that? It's not like, I don't feel like they were negligent. Let's put it like that.
You don't feel like it was negligent? I mean, I guess there's not really much you can do about it, right?
No. Well, I mean, what are you going to do about it?
It was this. Yeah, it's I don't know. it's kind of weird though. All the money they put into it, right? All the money they put into it, you try to postpone over wallet. Postpone. They said that was the 30th. Today it is the 7th. Like I don't know what happened to it. That was a week ago. They postponed it. After water concert, they canceled the test runs, the Olympic runs. So, uh, so they canceled it as of yesterday. They canceled it. Um, and so these guys who've been competing and trying out for the last, not trying out, but testing and preparing for this race for the last 4 years, don't get a chance to contest. I know swimming in the river or the lake is much different than swimming in the pool, but what do you do? I mean, what do
Yeah,
you
you
do?
can't control the environment to that extent to make it Olympic quality. I mean, what do it's a body of water, adverse, controlled environment. What do you, I mean,
I mean, but so do they have them run and cycle to the pool and then laps in the pool? I mean, because you can't have the triathlon without the swimming part, right? You know what I'm saying? So now maybe just change the swimming is done, right? All the swimming champions medals have been passed out. That what else can you do? So circle the circle the venue a few times, then jump in the pool, and then you know, or start in the pool, swim your lap, and then get to the track. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, but it looks kind of bad. It doesn't ruin the whole Olympics, but it does look kind of bad that you're not able to complete these events that are known competition events. And have you heard anything from the breakdancing group?
I have
Have you
not.
heard? Any,
I do not know who was in first place. I don't
have
know.
you seen them? Have they competed? Have they
I
had?
haven't seen him. I haven't seen him. I don't know when the finals are. I have not seen one heat of the breakdancing competition.
Yeah, they're hiding it. They're hiding it. They know that it's not legitimate breakdancers. They're hiding that garbage. What do you think about Snoop? Is Snoop apparently he's getting paid like an NFL player out there in
They,
Olympics.
I heard some rumor that he was getting like $500,000 a day to be over there, and he gets to go to all the venues and all the events. I mean, that's quite a come up for murder was the case.
Well, clearly it's not the case. With Snoop out there being an American in the Olympics, 500, 500 day every day plus expenses. Yeah, Snoop. That way to go, Snoop.
And then I saw the little pin they gave him with like he was blowing like the Olympic rings. Oh, that was pretty cool too.
I mean, way to go, Snoop. But that's what I have to say. Um, way to go, Snoop, because that's pretty impressive. 500 grand a day for out there just showing up and being himself, right? Doing his dances and making the expenses. Way to go, Snoop. I no problem over here. But yeah, murder ain't the case no more, huh? All right, Cleveland. So here, you're not going to hear this. Let me go on my right. Was in Chicago this week, and I missed something. Have I told you that? Have I made that abundantly clear to?
You have made it abundantly clear that California love is where you would like to return to. Yeah.
Terrence Crawford fought in LA this past weekend at the stadium, at LAFC Stadium. Beautiful stadium, similar to T-Mobile Stadium. If you're in the right side of the stadium, you can look out of they actually have a little cutout of the stadium where you can look out and see, you know, about 6 o'clock, you can look out and see the downtown LA just breaching the overhang of the stadium. But Terrence Crawford fight this weekend, Cleveland. Did you see the Terrence Crawford fight?
No, I heard,
Israel,
I heard it was closer
Israel,
than it should have been.
what's that?
I said I heard it was closer than it should have been.
I mean, well, he moved up a weight class.
Yeah, it didn't carry the power with him that he thought he was going to.
He moved up a weight class. Dude was a champion, so he walked away a champion. But I was downtown Chicago. All right, right on Michigan Avenue was my hotel. Right across the street from Grant Park, where they had Lollapalooza. The music was so loud at Lollapalooza, it was rattling the windows of my hotel room. Okay, that's Lollapalooza was bananas. It was packed out every day. At the end of the day, for whatever godforsaken reason, the police officers and the feds and the task force and the SWAT teams they had it seemed like they all were on patrol at Lollapalooza. Would just shut down the streets, so you couldn't get no Ubers. You had to walk blocks to get your Uber. They would just shut down the streets so no cars can go through and drive by for the feel like 2 million people that was attending Lollapalooza couldn't just roam the streets. On Saturday night, Cleveland, I wanted to see the Terrence Crawford fight. It wasn't happening. I asked the security guards at the hotel, "Yo, where's the best place to go watch a fight?" "Oh, go look at you can find a fight in the bar." Well, the bar freaking has 2 TVs. Come on, I know they're not showing the fight. I mean, come on, guys. He's like, "Oh, well, you asked." I was like, "Come on, man. You're not a boxing fan. Clearly, you're not a boxing fan." I went to the bar anyway, just because. Okay, this is a bar with TVs. Where can I watch the fight? Oh, I don't know. This is a championship fight, folks. So pull out the iPhone, type in the app, bar near me. Before I did that, one of the Latino dudes working in the bar actually did say, "Go to Bar Louie. They're guaranteed to have the fight." Bar Louie is about a 5-block walk. Okay, 80 degrees, 85 degrees, the humidity not like it is here in Bama. Okay, I'll make the walk. 5 blocks. Get to Bar Louie. Are you guys showing a fight? The guy says, "Who's fighting?" What channel does the fight come on? Okay, you guys aren't showing it. The fights on ESPN Plus. Oh, I don't think we get ESPN Plus. Let me go see. He don't know what the heck he don't know how to work the TVs at the moment, clearly. Okay, come to find out they're not showing the fight. Go to All Stars Bar around the corner. Just a couple blocks up the street. Okay, I go to All Star. All Star Bar does have lines of TVs on 2 different walls. With the Olympics on, Cleveland. This is Olympics is on. The Olympics is on, right?
Fencing and water polo.
Not one TV is on the Olympics, Cleveland. Not one television is on the Olympics.
Oh.
All the TVs are on the news. They even have one corner of the TVs where it's like the 9 TVs that make up the big screen. They're all watching the news. Like, is this a sports bar here? What are we doing here? Can I get the fight on here? Oh, I don't know. We don't watch boxing in Chicago. If it's a UFC fight, I have the UFC fight on. I'm like, I want to see boxing. Is this a sports bar or not? Well, yeah, it's a sports bar. We carry all the sports games. I said, but you don't even have the Olympics on. You don't even have the Olympics is going on right now. You don't have the Olympics on in the sports bar. What am I to think? Where are you from? You're clearly not from. No, I'm not from Chicago.
I want to see a fight. It doesn't look like Chicago has sports fans here from what I've been through so far today. Well, you're gonna have to go somewhere else if you want to see the boxing because we don't show boxing here. Where do you suggest I go to see boxing? Well, if you go to GQ's right down the street, they'll have the fight on. Or if you go to B Dubs, they're gonna have the fight on. Hey, do you know now I'm a mile away from my hotel, and you guys want me to walk somewhere else? Well, you're not gonna find it in this area. You're gonna have to get in the car and drive. Oh, I have to get in the car and drive somewhere where there's some sports fans at in Chicago. That's what I have to do. Because clearly downtown Chicago, there's no sports fans. Well, I didn't say that. We're sports fans, but we don't watch boxing. Boxing is fixed and fake.
See what happens when you keep throwing out them lackluster fights with the questionable decisions and the promoters messing around. The third largest city in America would say, you know what? Maybe we're just not boxing fans then.
No, well, Cleveland, if they say we're not boxing fans, I admit that. They're not sports fans. Sports fans going to watch the boxing.
No, they're sports fans. They have two of everything in Chicago.
So I get
not two everything. They have two baseball teams, one basketball team, one football team. It's not two of everything. They're not in New York, but
they're not LA either. They're not LA either. Where are you from? Oh, okay. I come out here from Los Angeles, where I know I can go watch the fight. Oh, LA, they're not sports fans out there. They come to the games late and they leave early. Ladies, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So I get in the car, I get in the Uber, and I had to drive like 15 minutes to the south side of Chicago. So I get to the south side of Chicago, and I'm curious, like, I don't know. I looked up on the who would have the sports bars, or who would on IG I found out who would have this fight on in Chicago. So I kind of went to the closest one that I could find. It was like 2 miles away. Took the Uber, felt like 15 minutes to get there. I was on the south side of Chicago. That's what I do know. I was curious as to now what side of town am I on? Am I on the Cubs side of town? I'm on the White Sox side of town.
The White Sox side of town.
I didn't know no difference. So I get there, and they turn their fight on. They got, it's a sports bar. They got silver big screen, blah, blah, blah. They turn the fight on. Okay, it's the prelims. I'm there way early. The prelims is just starting. The guy comes around. I have a couple beers. 312. Shout out to 312. Is they have their IPA is a 312s. I've had several IPAs over the weekend. That's why I'm a little recovering, because I have multiple 312s over the weekend. I go to the bathroom, come back, the guy's changing channels. I'm like, yo, hold up, what are you doing? Like, I'm watching a fight. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna turn that TV, but I want to see the White Sox. I'm like, you want to actually watch the White Sox lose again? He's like, yes, I'm in a parlay. I have the White Sox losing 20th game tonight. So you're betting against the White Sox? He's like, yeah, I don't expect them to win tonight. They're playing the Orioles. I don't expect them to win tonight. They'll win next week. They'll win the next series or whatever. So me and him, we talking about the White Sox. Have they ever looked any worse? Why they're so bad? Yada yada. So we chopped it up. Okay, so I did find an actual sports bar that a fan would talk about the teams in Chicago. Ask them about Caleb Williams. I haven't watched the Bears in years.
Wow, this is getting quite embarrassing for the.
What do I do with this, Cleveland? What do I do with this? Not only does dude betting against his White Sox, his hometown team,
and hasn't watched the football team in years.
I hasn't watched it. No, okay, that's fine. You haven't watched a football team in years, but you have the number 1 draft pick this season, which everybody, Cleveland, yourself included, is hyping him up to be the next coming of Andrew Luck. And you have no interest in watching the Bears? No comments about the Bears? I'm at a sports bar. He works here. Fans, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I question the fandom of folks in Chicago, and I think that's legitimate.
And deservedly so. You shouldn't have to go that far to find a sports bar that has a fight. And secondly, when you get to one and they haven't watched the Bears in years, yeah, that's rough, especially this year with all the optimism.
So as the night progresses, so you didn't watch the fight. I take it you didn't watch the fight. So Andrew Ruiz fights. He wins a decision. No, I think that fight went to a draw. He should have won. It went to a draw. This is his excellency from Saudi Arabia is putting on the fight in Los Angeles. Rider season, as he wants to call it. So they're making this big spectacle. They end up, I don't know if the fight's in California. I don't know what the Nevada Boxing Commission is there for, giving him a key to the city in Nevada. Like, we're in Los Angeles. What do you do? What this is? Do that when he takes the show to Las Vegas. But so I don't know why the Las Vegas Boxing Commission is in Los Angeles giving this dude a ceremonial key to the city. Introducing him into the Las Vegas Boxing Hall of Fame. It actually made no sense. Then he puts a lot of money into it, Cleveland, and I couldn't help but think of you is last year when Terrence Crawford fought Earl Spence. Who introduced Terrence Crawford? Who walked him to the ring?
Refresh my memory.
Eminem.
Yes, and he couldn't walk all the way with him because there was some contractual stuff.
But what happened? What happened that you pointed out specifically? You pointed something out specifically with Eminem in the ring walk. Eminem didn't sing his song. Remember that? Eminem didn't sing his song. He just called him out. Are you ready for Bud Crawford? But then they played the song, but Eminem didn't sing the song. Remember that?
Yes, that was very strange.
Eminem had a full-blown concert before the fight. Okay, so clearly when we talked about there was some money involved, what you pointed out last time, this dude Rider season, I told you he's funding these events. Eminem had a full-blown concert, 15-minute concert before the Terrence Crawford fight started, which I wasn't I'm a fan of Eminem. I wasn't interested in seeing the Eminem concert before the fight, though. Like, it really, the time and place, that wasn't the place.
Yeah.
Like, you have one, we've been waiting leading up to the fight. You have 6 preliminary fights. You're waiting for the big fight, right? Now they have this ceremonial gifting of the introducing him to the Boxing Hall of Fame in Las Vegas or in Nevada, but they're fighting in Los Angeles, which made no sense. That was just dumb, period. Then, but he paid for it, so I understand why it happened, because he paid for this. And then they have the concert where Eminem puts on a full-blown concert before the fight. Then they come out and obviously Crawford has a fight. Crawford wins the fight. It was a good fight. It was a fight worth watching. Crawford moves up a weight class. His punching power. The dude was a crafty fighter. Like, he didn't stay in one position. He moved around a lot. He jumped around a lot. He fought back. Crawford would catch him. He'd try to catch Crawford back. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. I wouldn't say great fight. It was a good fight. There was no knockdown. It went the distance. Crawford won the fight. in control of the fight. He was never not in control of the fight. Dude never. Neither one of them put each other in danger, but it was a good competitive fight, if that makes sense. So Crawford, after going up a weight class, you saw that his punching power. It wasn't like he didn't dominate. He dominated. He whipped Spence's ass, right? He didn't whip dude's ass, but he did move up a weight class. So he's dealing with He's dealing with more weight. He's dealing with somebody with just as much power as him. He's dealing with a bigger dude. So it was a different type of fight. Will he be different the second time fighting that weight class? Who knows? Well, I mean, Canelo, he don't need to move up to Canelo's weight class. Because what happened to Canelo when Canelo moved up 2 weight classes to fight Bivol and just couldn't match up to Bivol. Don't want to say that's going to happen to Crawford, but that has the potential to happen. You follow what I'm saying? So he need to talk Canelo into moving down to this weight class, so he doesn't have to move up, and then Mac fight him at the 168. So that was interesting. We have Canelo Alvarez fighting Edward Berlanga September 14th, which I don't know. Edgar Berlanga, you familiar with Edgar Berlanga? The dude Fat Joe was backing a couple years ago until he got knocked out.
Yeah, he started out with all those knockouts in the first round.
Yeah, until he actually fought somebody. But now he's talking like he hasn't been knocked out. He's talking about he gonna whoop Canelo ass, and Canelo don't know what's coming to him. He has more IQ than what Canelo's ever seen. Dog, do you know Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather? He fought Andre Cotto or Miguel Cotto. Like he fought veterans. Like there's no way you have more ring IQ than any of these guys he fought. And he's talking cash. He's talking cash junk. Obviously to make the fight, but I want to see this now to see Edgar Berlanga get put on his ass again because he's talking cash junk. And it's going to be interesting to see Canelo at this age. Does he still have it? Does he still have the motivation to compete at this level? Or is Edward Berlanga?
No, he has the motivation to compete at this level, which is why all of the opponents are handpicked and someone that he knows that he can have a very easy time against.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how
anyone that he fears that he can lose to.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That makes it September 14th. So in about a month, a little more than a month, they're going to be fighting in Las Vegas, and that's going to be a spectacle because it's going to be Mexicans versus Puerto Ricans, which I mean the scenery in that building is going to be off the hook.
De La Hoya Trinidad style, not quite to that level. That was
not that level.
That was epic. That was an epic event.
But for the times, it's going to be. I mean, the scenery in that building is going to be. Mexicans is going to be coming out. Puerto Ricans is going to be coming out with their best, and this might be this could be the last biggest fight of the year if we don't see, because fights take 3 months to kind of put together. So if we don't see Tank, and rumors are that Tank and Shakur are going to fight, but it has to be scheduled like now to fight in November. You know what I mean? It's going to have to be scheduled within the next couple of weeks to fight in November or December. That would be a big fight. But if it doesn't happen within the next 3 weeks, that's not going to happen the next year. You follow what I'm saying? The fighters need that time to prepare for the fight. So this very well could be the last biggest fight of the year. So which makes this even a bigger spectacle. This is going to be the last time people get to come out and show out in the summer, all that jazz. Cleveland, what we missed, obviously we missed the show last week, but we missed the MLB trade deadline, man. Talk about what the Mariners did in the trade deadline. Obviously, we talked about one addition that they made. Talk about the next addition that they made 2 trades. They were finally buyers and not sellers which I thought was impressive. You talked about the manager or the owner said they want to win 54% of their games, and they're hovering around that mark right now. But talk about their additions to the team, and does this help them? Right now they're 59, 55. They have the 51% winning percentage, so they're a little less than they want to be. They are on a 6-4 winning streak. Oh, they got the Dodgers ex third baseman. Damn, Trey somebody.
Yeah, so so they picked up Randy Rosarina from the Tampa Bay Rays to play left field. They picked up Justin Turner to play first base, and they picked up Jimmy Garcia in relief, and then JT Chargois, also from Tampa Bay. So they have bolstered their bullpen, and they have added some players that can help them score more runs. Now, for the last, I would say, 10 games, it looked like everything was kind of smooth sailing, like they had righted their wrongs, had kind of fixed the problems with regards to scoring runs, because at least 3 of those games when those 2 players were in the lineup, they scored like 10 runs, which is, never ever happens in Mariner land. But the last couple games, they've kind of reverted back to their old ways. They only scored 2 runs last night. Only scored 2 runs tonight. Losing 2 straight games to the Detroit Tigers, not a good thing. After winning 2 out of 3 against the Philadelphia Phillies, best team in the National League. So, yeah.
Best team in the National League is in LA. What are you talking about?
Phillies have a better record than those guys. So, yeah, they're still waiting for their starting shortstop and their starting center fielder, i.e. J.P. Crawford and Julio Rodriguez, to get back into the lineup. Once those guys come back, can they make a positive run? We'll see. Pitching is always what it is. They gave up – starting pitcher gave up 3 runs yesterday. They lost 4-2. Starting pitcher gave up 3 runs today. And then relief gave up 3 runs, so they lost 6-2. Starting pitching is always going to keep them in the games. They have elite pitching. So the question is whether the hitting that had kind of come to light over the last 5 or 6 games prior to these last 2 games continues to do its thing. So I don't know.
Impressively, they at least gave fans something to think about, because last time we spoke, there were only 2 games above 500. Now they're at least 4 games above 500, and they're 6-4 of the last 10 games versus 2-8 what they were the last time we spoke, fans. So there's some improvement. Like I said, they're 50. They have the 51% winning percentage, and they're a little less than what the GM. Was it the GM who said he wants to be 54% winning percentage?
Jerry Dipoto, yes.
Yeah, so they're a little behind schedule. And that's maybe he goes out and makes these moves because he sees they're behind schedule, this embarrassing standard that he established for himself. So hopefully for your sake, Cleveland, they can rise to that 54% winning percentage. And I'm impressed that they were buyers and not sellers at the trading deadline. How about you? Did you appreciate what the moves that they made?
Absolutely, and they have come to fruition. Even early
they showed immediate dividends by Turner hitting that grand slam to win the game against the Philly.
He did hit a grand slam. It wasn't to win the game, but he certainly contributed to that tremendously. And Randy Rosarina has been the same thing. So, we'll see if it carries on and for how long.
Turner was clutch, though, for the Dodgers. Turner, I didn't realize he's almost 40 years old, but for the Dodgers, Turner was clutch. He's had some clutch, big time clutch games for the Dodgers. Again, I didn't realize he was almost 4 years old, but I know just being in LA, and he had some clutch moments for the Dodgers. And in their World Series season. So that was a good deal. Mike Trout, did we talk about Mike Trout being done for the season again? I mean, terrible. I mean, stay away from Mike Trout. Whoever, stay away from him, buddy, because he has black cats all over his campus. White Sox in losing streak. They lost, or they finally beat the Oakland A's of all teams. Who the Oakland A's is just really. Where are they playing at right now?
They're playing Oakland for now, but next year
they're gonna be in Sacramento. They're gonna be in the AAA team in Sacramento, the high school stadium.
Yeah, because the Vegas thing isn't ready. So yeah, and they can't come to Oakland. So,
do you have Paul Skeens as being a real MVP candidate?
No.
So this is just a kind of a phase of something that's gonna fade out.
No, he's a power pitcher. He's killing them with regards to that. He just hasn't played long enough to either warrant MVP or Cy Young consideration.
Well, what do you mean he hasn't played long enough? How long do you have to play? He just had to be. He was an all-star. He was an all-star, so he's been consistent for more than half the season.
It's half a season.
Okay, but it's not like they sat him down. He hasn't been hurt. He's been playing. When you say he hasn't played
since like spring training, broke out or anything. I think his first start was in June, maybe April, May. No, it wasn't April.
Oh, so he hasn't had a full season, is what you're saying,
right?
Okay. Well, fans, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Let's give Cleveland a round of applause. As mentioned, fans, we got some things coming down the pike to get you guys excited as fans and to thank you for your contributions. Some categories we're going to specify that'll be addressed within the next couple of weeks before the season starts. So we're working behind the scenes to make that happen for you. Also working behind the scenes to get our picks ready this year. Maybe Cleveland will come down with a betting segment this season or talk about the games, or maybe you guys just want to listen to me because I tend to have the best winning percentage throughout the last few years. So maybe you guys just want to listen to me and not hear what Cleveland has to say. I think Cleveland owed me a dinner still from our last season bet. Is that accurate, Cleveland? Well, we're gonna have to look at the record books for that. Fans, we give you the number game at the beginning of the show. We give our history lesson with This Week in History towards the middle of the show, and then I like to end the show off by giving you guys a motivational quote to carry you guys through the rest of the week. We only have a few weeks left, Cleveland, of our Sunday special. Only a couple weeks left because we're going to have to get our draft lined up here fairly soon. The quote I want to leave you guys with this week is, in a crisis, don't hide behind anything or anybody. They're going to find you anyway. That's from the NCAA championship head coach, Paul Bear Bryant, Cleveland. In a crisis, don't hide behind anything or anybody. They're going to find you anyway. Paul Bear Bryant. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Cleveland, let the people know where they can find you.
At Clevie Wonder on Twitter and TikTok. At Cleveland Still on Instagram.
You can always add your comments, complaints, or ideas to share your ideas with the show at Voice of the Fans, @_ Voice of the Fans. That's @_ Voice of the Fans. Feel free to add your comments, complaints, and anything you like to chop it up with me during the week. @_ Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans. Enjoy the rest of your week. As always, fan, thank you for making our voice your choice.